Okay, let's just do it.
I did. I clicked start.
Oh, I didn't even see it. We're on, and I'm talking like we're not on.
Oh, we're
Hello.
couple seconds early.
We're a couple seconds early.
Oh. Who's going to be first? Mofo Driver with the
Mofo
three-pointer. Wow, that was his first comment. He just like squeaked it in there. There's a bunch of people who have been here for a while, Mofo Driver, and they're mad at you because you got the 7 o'clock three-pointer. So, Buddy Carafano is also here at 7, gets 3 points. Twisted Mopar Garage gets a 7 o'clock, 3 points. Patrick Sullivan, 3 points for being on time. Bruce, you get 3 points.
Wow, look at all these 7 o'clockers.
Yeah.
The clockers.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm being generous with points tonight. Did you notice that? People like points. Mexican Spec, our moderator, is here. Welcome, Mexican Spec. He also gets 3 points. And Dougster Wolverine Garage. Have no fear. The Dougster is here at 7. Thank you, Dougster. You get 3 points. Crashers Roadrunner Garage is here. He's got he's wearing shades. And he gets 3 points. Hello, everybody. Did I miss anybody? If I missed you, I apologize. I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things. Welcome to our regular Tuesday night studio stream. I am here with Bubdo Campo, the namesake of this channel, and we are here to entertain you for the next several hours. And yeah, thanks everybody who's here, and we're looking forward to it. Although this is a difficult theme. This was a little bit tough to prepare for.
I've thought out this theme a little bit, junk cars, and I go, I think we ought to put a little bit of a twist on it and show pictures of cars that are maybe old and cheap.
He likes that,
but we can.
But we haven't got.
Then we have to decide whether they really are junk, or maybe we could fix them, or maybe they're a parts car. But like the one that's on my thumbnail, which I put up behind us. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, there's the.
Go ahead. The one that's on behind us.
Distracting because something's covering up this stuff there. So anyway, that car behind us is a 62 Dodge Polara, which is the first B-body. And it was also a Dodge Dart that year, but the same body, but the Polara was a higher trim level. And it was the first car that had the frat sog on it, which I see that Dougster noticed that. I'm trying to move my head to move Kim's head, but it's right behind Kim's head. There it is. And then it's in a second place, is just right by my shoulder, which is there. And then the car also, if you had the wheel covers, the spinner on the wheel cover was a frat sog. So it was in 3 places on this car, which is kind of interesting. So this is kind of it was a junky looking car, but it fit something that I'd been talking about in shorts a couple of days ago. So I thought it was interesting and a good place to start.
I'm giving out some more points. Kevin Smith, you get 2 points. Kevin Smith, our moderator. Thanks for being here, Kevin. Olive is here. You also get 2 points. Did I miss anybody? Twisted Mopar Garage is here. Did I already give Twisted Mopar Garage points?
I think so.
I got to go back and check. I'm confused now. Oh, yeah. Got the 3.
Confuse yourself.
Got the 3. Okay. So, we are in the studio on Tuesday, which gives you exclusive attention, right? We're not working on a car, The only thing we have to deal with is the studio. The studio is great because we have this giant screen. We turned it up on its side, right? So this chat is nice and big so we can read it good. And we've got our monitor so we can see what we look like. And then I have a monitor that he can throw. He has his computer and he can throw stuff up on this monitor over here, a third monitor, fourth monitor. And then I can show you that. That's what you're looking at now is his screen. And then I have a screen that's all mine that I can browse the internet and we can show you, right? So we can do all that and I can make us big or little. Here we are small. I don't know where
What happened to the picture?
Oh, there's the picture. Oh, no,
And that's
that's
it.
us
Yeah, it
big
is.
still. Here, now we're small, so I can change our size, but we can also travel through time, right? Time and space. And we can go to, the internet, which is broken because I didn't set it up because I'm lazy.
Oh, now we got blackness behind us.
There. We can go to the internet so I can browse for pictures as you would ask. And I apologize, those who have been here, you already know all this stuff, but some people might be watching for the first time, and early on in the stream, we like to get that kind of stuff out of the way. So usually when we're doing a live stream, especially late at night from the shop, we can't really get emails as easily. It's a little more
In the shop, it's a hassle.
we're distracted.
Here I'm
Sometimes
set
we're
up for it.
recording something. Sometimes I've got grease up to my elbows. I'm pulling wrenches, or crawling underneath stuff or whatever. And we can't be so this is fun. This is just for fun. We're doing all the screens, and we get to do this once a week.
I can't make that happen.
What are you trying to make?
I was trying to skip the commercials, but I
no.
couldn't reach your mouse. I got the end of its tail. It wouldn't go to where I wanted.
We figured
to.
out how to ads are inserted. We figured out how to get a warning when it's going to send advertisements. And especially if he's in the middle of a story, he doesn't like to have to stop for a story. And so I'll skip the commercials.
Well, to me, it's really rude to have commercials come in like 2 or 3 minutes after we started, So I always click out of the first one, but I grabbed Ken's mouse and I ran out of cord. And I couldn't get the cursor over there on time.
Dinosaurs. That's right.
Yeah, it's the dinosaurs.
We have these dinosaurs on the screen. Moi and toi, za, da, dija. The dinosaurs or the other dinosaurs. Or we can just dyno our engines in the dyno room.
Yeah, there's the dyno room.
Okay, it's a very played joke. Sorry, everyone.
So this picture is one that Buddy Carafano sent in of some junk cars. And I look at those, and I look at them, just going down the line. I'm like, oh, I don't know how much junk those are. It's like Mexican Spec says, or somebody said, with enough money you can fix anything. But with us, it's more like enough sanding and undenting things and Bondo and whatever you need to do. Welding holes in frames or whatever. Yeah, you can fix anything. So, but sometimes I'd rather not. What's Moonshot Games? Moonshot Games.
That's an advertisement.
And so is Jerry Insurance ad.
Okay, so the people who are calling out advertisers, you get 2 points for letting us know who they were. Get a brand name. Get us, a source, because those people are spending money, and that helps pay for all these kilobits. We're broadcasting at just around 5,000 kbits per second, and those kilobits, they ain't free, people. Somebody somewhere has got to. Can you imagine? There's people like in the Amazon warehouse, they're just like, they're sorting all these kilobits out, trying to make them move. There's a big warehouse somewhere where they store all these kilobits. And that stuff costs money. So we appreciate that they allow us to use their kilobit broadcasting system. We can't afford a whole broadcasting system. We just got some cheap old TVs, right? A desktop computer, a little web camera, a couple $100 worth of junk, right? And that allows us to broadcast to the entire world. We are worldwide. There will be people here from Australia and Indonesia, India.
Indrex says I look cool. But then, Kim, you look fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So let's see. Here's junk car. Obviously junk. It's in a junkyard.
Is that a Mustang too?
No, that's a 71 2 2 or 3. Yeah, it's
a Mach 1.
It's prior to the. Yeah, I think so.
Fastback type thing.
Prior to the Mustang 2s. So it's, that's, that's going to take a lot of work, but because it doesn't have any glass in it. I mean, I don't really want to do that job, but I hate to see it in a junkyard.
So tonight, we're going to discuss the line between a restoration candidate and a junk car. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for a lot of people. Because if you love this kind of car, it'll never be junk. right? I saw the Barracuda. There's like a green Barracuda, and by the title, it's like something very special. It's just a crumpled pile. Like it's only this part of this car, right? It's just a crumpled piece of scrap metal, and you're like, that is junk. It's junk. There's no value. The only value is in the title. It's junk, right? So
Yeah, look at this one. There's
I lack discernment. I want to fix everything, but a lot of things realistically are.
this is another one, buddy car file I'll send in. But you look at this, there's grass growing up through the C-pillar.
Oh wow, there he is. But somebody would buy that.
What's this Bruce says? To Ranch Carroll. I don't know
Correction Ranch Carroll. It might be autocorrect butchering the things people are trying to say.
Excellent spec. I wouldn't restore any 1970, 74 Barracuda. I don't like them. I don't know why you don't like those. I mean, I like them, but they're kind of a big car compared to the other pony cars. They're big and wide like a B-body.
Olive says there's also the category of wrecks. Well, see, like a wreck like this, right? It's not just wrecked. Excuse me. It's rusty. And it's old. And it's missing parts. At some point,
That becomes a parts car. It's got a windshield in it. It's got some glass in it.
and a parts car is a junk car. It is never going to be a roadworthy car again. Could it be a roadworthy car again? If someone adopted it and spent the next 10 years, $10,000, they could make it back into a car. But they made a junk car into a car.
Dougster. AMD did a second-gen Charger that they nicknamed Project Vintag because that's basically all that was left. Now look at that 67 Dart sitting there in the foreground. I mean, you can't see the whole car, but I see parts that are good. The grill, for one. It probably has a little mess there in the lower right-hand corner.
Oh my gosh. Chasing after junk cars. Wow. And there are a lot of people. They're dreamers. They love looking at these old yards and they see all the things that they could do if time and money was endless, right? If we lived forever, we could restore all these cars. But we only get really to pick one or two or three.
Kevin Smith.
I feel
Junkyard
really fortunate.
Crawl was my idea, and I forgot to go to the local wrecking yard. Not prepared again. Yeah, I mean, this is the week for it. It's probably too late.
I don't know. Maybe we will underdo it and have to do it again when people are more prepared. If people want to do it again, we'll circle back around. I don't know that it's the thing we want our identity to be all the time. There are other people that do it.
Yeah, Steve Mignante.
Especially in this genre, it gets silly. My Duster's donor car would these days probably be called an easy restoration, 8K firm. Yeah, I know what I have. No low ballers.
Well, that's quite a pile of cars. Definitely, that's probably an old picture. I wouldn't expect to see that anywhere today.
And look, if you're taking two cars, cutting the front off of one and the back off another and jamming them together and making one good car, then they were both junk before you started. No. Yes. 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 If it has to have a reconstructed title, it was junk and you did acrobatic stuff to repair it. There are no old cars in the yards here. When the price of steel went up, they crushed everything around here. A lot of gold was crushed. I agree. And I think that is part of what makes the cars that aren't junk more and more valuable, because you just can't keep everything for forever, right? Somebody else should keep it. Somebody else should restore it. It's like, well, with what money? With what time, right? Like, there has to be a point where we declare it, okay, it's junk. Send it to the I paid $200 Got that 318 4-speed, everything to go with it. My choice of everything else. And a Sure Grip I was going to hopefully get rebuilt. Nice. That's a hell of a good parts car you found.
Can you zoom in on that a little bit, Ken?
No, that's already as big as it gets. Why is it?
I thought you could do that.
It's going to make a mess if I do that.
No,
I
no,
don't know why
that's
this one
good.
is so small.
That's probably good enough. But that Dodge right there, it's be a lot of work. But there's glass in it, and this side looks good. I mean, it's
So you think that that's a potentially restorable?
that would be one that would take a lot of work. But there's a lot there.
See, that's the thing too, though, is a lot of people say the other thing is how much money. Okay. There's junk and then there's totaled, and we've talked about automobiles being mechanically totaled. Clearly, that car needs more work than it's ever going to be worth.
Well, and that depends on worth to who. Because you're going to fix that up and sell it, make profit on it. That's not going to happen.
Never going to happen.
But if you're going to fix that up to the point where it's drivable for you and you're happy with it, and it's comfortable inside, you could probably do that. But it's going to be a lot of work. You got to really like that car to do that. Yeah.
Oh, says my dad's friend Fred, owned a local liquor store, had a custom car. It was half 57 Chevy and half 57 Ford welded together. I've never seen it, so I don't know what front and what rear. Dad knows. Well, we go half and half, not front and rear.
Yeah, side to side.
Kevin Smith says, go to the junkyard here, and it looks like a bunch of appliances. Yeah, I mean, most of these junkyards are very rural or very, like in the Midwest where there's just lots of open space. Because I know in Pittsburgh, the EPA forced a lot of junkyards to crush everything out.
Oh, same in California.
And the price of scrap, when scrap gets good, they start looking at, well, what are we making money off of? And cars that sit around and don't bring revenue or that have been stripped pretty heavily, they're just taking up space, and they're just like, I'll crush that. That's never going to be worth more. And then once they get in crush mode, they just keep on crushing. And a lot of the smaller yards, they don't have the equipment to crush cars. So they have to bring in a crusher, and they get paid by the car. So they're like, they can't just crush one car every day. Like, they have to crush them all. So they got to decide, like, hard decision. Does it stay or does it go? Somebody's got to be in love. Yeah, that's the thing. Right?
I look at this picture and you see a license plate on that Oldsmobile. It says Ohio 1966. Well, my guess is that's probably pretty current. That picture was probably taken in 1966. And from the looks of the cars, I would think that was probably about right. So that's not today's stuff, I would think.
Mexican Spec says, I remember when they forced the junkyards in Van Nuys to pave the yard. They crushed a lot of good cars over that. They would. You can't just move them around and pave. You got to get rid of the stuff that isn't making money. And so now a lot of the yards, like in Pittsburgh, and I know like the Pick Apart and U Pullets here closer to Nashville, they are not junkyards. They are automotive recycling centers. They bring in a car. What do you need?
Just shrink it down.
Smaller. Okay.
I don't know how to do that, or I'd do it.
That's okay. They bring in cars and immediately, like, first of all, the first thing they do is scrap the title. So you can never put that car back on the road. And then they take out all the fluids, the fuel system, they disable everything. They put it up on blocks, and the timer's ticking, tick, 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 tick. After a certain amount of time, whatever's gone is gone, and the rest goes in crusher. It's just like, it is an assembly line, right? So there's no old cars in there, and not for long. And people know that that's what's happening. So generally, the people who take the scrap cars, they'll save stuff that they think is older that has to sit around. But no one has unlimited space. So it's very difficult. It's different. And some of the cars we're working on now are 50 years old. parts are becoming scarce, especially in the used.
One of the newest cars we have is 47 years old. I mean, the Jeep's is very new for us, but everything else, my car's the newest. It's 47. Oh no, you've got some trucks that are newer than that, don't you?
Yes. Kevin Smith says he was busy rubbing elbows with the mayor of Akron today. Ooh, Akron. All right, big city.
Going to be on the local news demonstrating handicap ramp at the center. ABC Cleveland News at 11.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's interesting.
Nice. New community center. That's fantastic. Olive says just before those Crusher days was the yards would declare open season like all you can carry for $20. Oh yeah, it happens. It happens. But I mean, at that point, like, who has the time? How many vacation days? How many sunny days in our lifetime in a summer to go out to the yards and pull stuff off? Discernment. Can't keep it all.
Gearhead's here.
The things that slip through our fingers are the junk cars.
So now, I don't know about this 69 Dart. It's a little rough. It's a lot rough.
And it's a four-door.
But
I wonder what the floors look like.
You know, floors, the windows are there. The glass is there. And after I know what it's like trying to chase down glass for an old car, man, I look for glass now.
How many miles on it? Does it have a title?
Title makes a big deal.
Whew. If it doesn't have a title, it's like, wow. Do you want to go chase after something that might just be a headache?
Here's a bad one.
You better get it cheap.
There's a bad one.
What is it, though?
That's a Corvette. That's like a 58, 9, or 60 Corvette.
Oh, wow.
But look what happened to it.
But is there upside for it?
I don't know. That might be a parts car.
Parts car.
Levi's Backyard Performance is here. How you doing?
Welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. And it's building season. It's wrenching season. You guys, I know you have other things to do. I thank you for taking some time to stop in and say hello. Hopefully we can entertain you a little bit. You know, Kevin Smith, 200 years? It might be 250. I don't know.
So where is this? Let me see.
I don't know, but look around it. There's nothing around it. It's probably 10 hours away from us.
That says, Bruce Culchin says, 1,400 cars. But I don't know where it is. It says a few junk cars, 1,400 cars.
Dougster says that vet has a Roots style supercharger. Yeah. It's got roots, all right, Doug. Smash the like button, says Gearhead. Thank you, Gearhead. Welcome to the stream. Gearhead's been here, though.
That's quite he came in just recently, yeah.
That's a big place. Yeah, the piles of
you know what you say with
cars.
that place? Let's go to the lake. Then you go there.
I mean, if you're going to go to a place like that, take your trailer.
Take your family to the lake. And then you kind of wander around. Families at the lake.
You take your trailer. I mean, if you've got a family, a young family, you don't have time to be.
Oh, geez.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Buddy Carafano sent that in. Man. That's a Z7.
It sure is. I wonder if they have a window.
We ought to start collecting windows.
We could return the part and get our money back.
Oh, Bruce says that's in Alberta, Canada.
Chevette is the only vet I might afford, says Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith, did you see that Chevette, that super low mileage original Chevette sold for stupid money? More like double what it was when it was new at some auction. What's wrong?
I'm trying to make that closer, and I don't know how to do it. There. I'm just looking at it. Looking at what's there.
That might be better than the parts car we have.
No, the parts car we have has good wheels on it. That doesn't even have wheels. You know, we got an 8.8 rear end. We got a lot of good stuff with that car. I know you don't think so.
It is. No, no, no. I see it there.
Yeah, that's a.
Buff is drooling. Yes. Yes, he's like, all the parts. Our car has all the parts. All we
Right
need.
now, Kim's got that window working so well that I'm still nervous cranking it up and down, but it feels really good when you close the door. It doesn't rattle. Yep.
Yeah. And it doesn't rattle when it's down. And it's not banging against the channel like it was. Oh, it was really all messed up. I think I got it finally. It was.
And then I don't know how many of you have been watching Kim's channel. Kim just put up a video yesterday or today? This
Late
morning?
last night I
Late
put up
last
the
night.
video.
She put up a video that's pretty good about her dart. So
Yeah, the dart's coming together. I'm sorting. I'm sorting.
she
People
definitely
think
found
that once you get it running and drive it down the road, it's just fine, and now you're good.
she definitely found a fuel problem, and
Yeah.
it's an interesting
I
video.
thought it was using so much gas. I thought it was leaking gas, and it wasn't
was.
running like super bad. I thought it was just like, well, that's all the power it has. I think it's really gonna snap now because I think it was just really rich in the low end, and that actually robs power when you overfuel. How much?
What are you gonna do? You're gonna tell? Par's car becomes hot 6-power drag car after Zed Sled gets V8 swapped. Yeah, I'll put something in that.
I keep looking at old trucks before 1991 when they went to the new motor style. I keep looking at trucks from like the late 80s that have 302s in them. They're about $1,000. You can get one off of Facebook Marketplace. I keep thinking, man, I could
Oh, for
snatch that
me?
up and we could yank the 302 out of there and freshen it up for your car. We have so much to do. And we just spent $1,000 on a parts car for your car. There's another $1,000 for another parts vehicle for his car.
Luis is here. Good evening.
Your car is going to be worth $20,000 in effort by the time we're done getting it the way you want it.
I was busy to clean my room. So let's see. Bruce Culkin sent this in too. I'm not even sure what kind of car that is. What kind of car is that? I know what the Buick is, but the one on this side, is that also a Buick? I'm not sure.
Those are yard art.
Yard art.
They're just
I think you
metal.
could bring one of those around. It'd be a lot of work, but Tugster 351 power, no replacement for displacement.
I've looked at that too, but a good 351 around here is
I've had Windsors. Mexican Spec says has marker lights on top of the fenders.
Oh yes, it does.
Those markers or is that early turn signals or what the heck is that? Some of those cars I don't know what they are. Dougster says it's a 36 Chevy. Is it? I don't think so.
Well, I don't know. It's an old car, but it's also been sitting.
It's also huge.
And it's been sitting in the trees for a long time. It's got the moss and the lichens a growing. It
Okay.
honestly doesn't take that long for
They're
them to
all
get very
guessing.
green.
They're all guessing. Look up 36 Chevy. Look
Okay.
up 36 or 7 Oldsmobile.
I will.
And we'll find out what it is.
They could be added on afterwards.
Yeah, they could be. There's some kind of bullet lights up there. Little rockets.
Okay. Let's take a look at the 36 Chevy.
Nope.
Let's go back. It really does look like the front end of a 36 Chevy, though.
I don't think it is. Look up a 36 or 7 Buick.
Okay.
See how the headlights are real like long, skinny bullet shaped, and the grill really wraps around.
Yeah, you might have it. Yep. It's even got the little.
It's even got the little lighters. No, little lights on the top.
Yeah, somebody took the hood ornament off of it. Mm-hmm. Indirect was right. He pulled it out. Early Buick. Split windshield?
Yeah, you know what? The old cars, the only ones that didn't have the split windshield, like in the 40s, was the Lincoln Continentals. They had a flat windshield. I always thought that was crazy.
Buddy Carfono asks, what's the difference between a Windsor and a Cleveland? The Windsor was an engine design that was built in Windsor.
Windsor,
And a
Ontario,
Cleveland was a design built in Cleveland.
Cleveland, Ohio. But the real difference is the there's some differences in the block. The heads on the Clevelands are the ports are huge. They have valves are angled. They really flow air. And the Windsor is more like a wedge-shaped combustion chamber. And you can put Cleveland heads on a Windsor if you route the coolant in a different direction, and that's called a cleaver. But Ford never did it, but people do it. Like Dallas from the AHRA, Dallas's T-Bird was a cleaver engine.
Okay, the Mexican spec thinks it might be an Oldsmobile, and I do notice some difference in the side grille. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It doesn't have the little.
No, and look at the grill.
It does look like the same on the side though,
Might be the
and
same
it has the
body.
little risers on the bumper. Let's try 38 Oldsmobile. I think we were right before, but yeah, that's definitely not a 38.
Dougster says a Windsor's a small block and a Cleveland's a big block. Nope, Cleveland's a small block. Has to do with the centers of the cylinders. They're the same. Well, the cleaver where you use the big valve heads, yeah, they bolt on. This is the coolant flows differently. These are old enough. All the people in here are really, they got to go look this stuff up because they don't remember. We're out of our era.
Out of our era? We're out of my century. No, maybe not quite. It's actually not that much older. Like when
I'm looking for some emails. Don't have any. Somebody send me some pictures, some junk cars.
when I was born, that car was as old as the car that I drive now.
Really?
My 66.
Buddy Carfano, where does modified 351 fit in? It has a higher deck height, so the intake manifold is much wider. And then the 400, which is never called an M, but it's basically the same thing, is a 400 cubic inch that has the same block dimensions as the 351 modified. Hendrick says, I am 40 years old. Wow.
Kevin says his brain hurts from too much thinking. Well, we're not here to make your brain hurt. We're supposed to have fun.
Hendrick says, my favorite is 65 to 75. I'm kind of in that same range, although I like late 50s and early 60s too. I'd say mine are all the way through the 60s, maybe early 70s.
You know, I really like working on my 66 because it's so damn simple. It's almost intuitive. Like it makes sense. Like, yeah, oh yeah, there it is. That's why they put it there. The older cars, the problem with the older cars is there's some of the refinements that I would like to see only existed in the really high-end older cars, right? Like a base model vehicle, the suspension and this handling performance was just not up to par. So if you'd had to buy a really high-end vehicle, like, you know, I don't, Corvette had great handling. Well, what year did they even start that? Anyways, what I'm saying is I can't afford a car any older than mine and still have it perform good. Even there's performance things I'd like to do to my car that are kind of pretty expensive, like adding disc brakes and sway bars and things like that. So, you
Here
know,
we go. Wow.
whereas later cars, it's already there, but then it just starts getting, they just pile on the complexity Everybody loves complexity.
Oh, geez.
Oh, okay. We're going to move on with some more junk cars.
Buddy Carfon sent this in. That's
The
newer.
Dreamers, I hope you're here tonight because this is a Dreamer car. This is a Holy Goat
That is
kind of
rough.
car.
That is beyond what I want to mess with.
I mean, it's just a shell.
I see a set of wheels I wouldn't mind having.
It's just a shell. What is it? CUDA.
I think it's a Barracuda that's like 70 through 74 or something like that.
It looks like maybe it was burned. Or maybe somebody stripped it and left it rust.
Could be. Yo Tango 22, I don't know how to say 22, años. That's Luis saying he's 22 years old. Of course, he said that up there too. Dougster says he's 47.
We have a wide range of ages.
Indrex, Holy Goat was a good shout out. We watched that thing race, the first annual No Name Nationals. He was there, met him.
Yeah, that was really cool. And he was growing rapidly at that point. I remember he was about 3 episodes in to working on that car when I found his channel. And so then I watched back to the beginning of the series where he picked the car up, and then I followed closely because it was just intriguing to me that somebody was going to do all this work to this car that most people would never consider. And I think that was a big, I don't know. I don't think most people even realize how much work that really is to bring a car that's so far gone back from the grave.
Of course, he just left all the bullet holes in it.
Well, yeah. Is it really?
How did he race that thing? Because there's no windows in it, was there?
They let him.
They let him race it without the windows?
They just walked him through tech. They told him what he needed to do, and I don't think he really raced. I think he just
drove it down the track.
It was more of an exhibition run, yeah. Yeah, the Holy Goat was worth, but the Holy Goat wasn't rusty, which that helps a lot. Like there was no rust, but there was like frame damage to the car, smashed all in.
Bruce got Eagle Builders advertisement. I didn't know any ads went out, but I guess it's about that time.
Banana Mex ad. All right, people calling out their advertisers get 2 points. Thank you. And thank you to the advertisers supporting our stream, allowing us to bring our kilobits to you for your entertainment. So we appreciate it. We're having a good time. I'm glad to be here. I think he likes it. If we missed a Tuesday night, he would be distraught. He would hate that.
Dougster, the only burned car we bought is so far gone, but it has a lot of good parts on it because it burned the interior and the top of the engine. So Kim thinks the engine's still good, but we got the rear end out. That's what's that thing called? The Crossfire. And we narrowed the rear end. We narrowed that independent rear suspension to put under her Dart, but we haven't done that yet. I don't know if we ever will. But then there's other good stuff on it too. But man, that's a pretty rough car. The whole interior's melted.
You only have to fix the quarters and roof. The rest can be replaced. Well, that's true with any car. I think accident damage can be to the point where it's mechanically totaled. Mechanically totaled cars will be a different section of the stream because newer cars become they look perfect. They can look perfect. They can even be really low mileage and be mechanically totaled. It's pretty crazy. With these classic cars, they're not making new ones of these, right? So you get one. If it's what you want and you get one, whatever you start with, that's what you have, and you can build from there.
Kevin Smith says Uber Eats ads the dummy that doesn't know how to grill. Mm-hmm.
Dougster says he'd tackle that Barracuda.
And Crashes Roadrunner Garage Venmo ad. You're not giving the points out.
Oh, yeah. You get 2 points for calling out the Venmo ad. Venmo.
Usually
Venmo's payment system, isn't it?
I think so. You usually catch
Anybody
all
use
that.
Venmo? I don't use Venmo very often. I
think
prefer
I did.
cash transactions when I can. That's old fashioned.
Josh Holman's here. Good evening. So that Barracuda right there, that's probably my favorite body style Chrysler product. Is that that style? That one's a little rough, but man, I wonder if it's got any glass. Probably not. Just the windshield.
Olive's worried that this topic will get depressing after a while. Well, if it makes
Okay,
you
let's
feel
find. Okay, let's change course a little bit.
okay.
Kim, let's go to what's that thing you always like? Facebook Marketplace. Put in like
You want to do the marketplace thing tonight?
cars that are,
Gotcha.
let's say cars that are under $2,000.
Is that going to be less depressing?
Well, yeah,
Maybe.
because they're probably cars we can fix rather than cars that are like so far gone that we can't do anything with them.
I mean, I could fix that car. My car was junk. When I got it, my 66 Start, it was junk. I didn't
You
know it
drove
was
it
junk.
here. You drove it here.
I
from
did. I drove
Tony's.
it here, but it was a junk car. I got it from Tony, and I thought it was like pretty good car, but it was junk. It needed more work than it will ever be worth. At some point, I'm trying to like restrain my hold back, right? Because I want to like put a new windshield in it, and I want to put disc brakes on it and sway bars on it and stuff like that. And it's like I'm just throwing
Okay.
money at a car that's
Let's see if we can change course
fun.
a
It's
little
lovely.
bit, but stay on subject a little bit and look at cars.
Okay, I'm not doing a good job.
I know you're
Let's
talking
see
about
some
your car.
savables. Okay, let's work on that. We'll work on it. You have to talk about something though, because it's going to take me a minute to get my
Buddy
search
Carphone
criteria.
says, sent
in.
one that can be fixed. I don't see it yet. But when it shows up, I'll show it. Well, if you can find them in Marketplace,
Just you pay attention to them.
if you find them in Marketplace, they might say they can run. Well, more than it's worth isn't necessarily our barrier in this crowd. Well, yeah, you know, there's like value what it takes to make it like a new car, and value what it takes to make it so it's a driver. And Kim and I both get a lot of comments on our cars, and they're not perfect cars, but because of their age, and people like to see them and they comment about them. Vintage is here. Hey, good evening. I had an ad for a gym. Where are the ads going at?
Maybe you just need
Man,
some physical conditioning.
I watched one of your videos just before we came in here.
Ran when parked in 1984. I mean, if it had been, if it didn't run, then it wouldn't have been parked. It would have been delivered.
Okay,
All right, let's see how we're doing here.
I'm downloading some Mexican spec photographs. But we'll go to you what you're doing first, Kim. I'll get these downloaded.
All right. Well, what are we looking for? I'm a little bit. Okay, let's go to
Well,
Marketplace.
look at that. Aren't you in Marketplace? Yeah, look at that Barracuda.
Hold on a second while I bring it up here.
First thing I see.
Mm-hmm.
Kim's having a hard time bringing stuff up. Okay.
All right. Now, we are within 200. I'll show you my search criteria here so you understand what we're doing at Facebook Marketplace. We live in Cunningham, Tennessee, which is near Clarksville, which is north of Nashville, and I have it in 250 miles, which is an absurd amount of distance that I probably wouldn't travel unless it was like perfect car. Prices, it's always good to set a low end, and it kind of cuts out the motorcycles and things. And I'm going up to $5,000 because we don't want to miss anything like really nice, because sometimes people think they have more than they have. Anyways, and it's always good to set a bottom year, so 1920, because I have seen some like Model Ts and stuff that could be rat rotted really cool recently, and up to 1990, because cars in the 80s are still interesting.
Come on, let's see it. I want to see a Barracuda.
All right.
Click on it.
He wants to see a Barracuda.
There it is, right there.
$2,500. Where was that, in Arkansas? Alabama, Barracuda. I'm
What?
still,
What
sorry.
happened? Picture?
My thing was on the wrong screen. Okay. Here's the Barracuda. 1966 Barracuda original slant skit 6. Needs some electrical work and floor plan pans. Good project car.
Oh, there we go. A slant. Looks like it might even run.
Somebody put a valve cover on it. It'll run. It's a slant 6. It's got the glass in it. That's pretty important.
On that car, that's very important.
Got a nice back seat. The interior is not all roached.
I don't know if it's nice.
Well, it's not
okay.
all roached. It's not all moldy or filled with...
There's an extra steering column in there from something newer.
From something new. Oh, yeah, there he is.
So I don't know.
Well, that's where hence the electrical work.
So is that worth $2,500? I don't think so, but I think you could make that into a decent car.
Look at the lower,
but it's going to take a lot of work.
Look at the lowers on the car. It's not all rotted out. It says it needs floor pans. Well, it could be really bad. Did you see Dr. Art's floor pans in his?
No, I haven't. I have one of his in the queue, but I haven't looked at it yet.
And Mexican Spec has taillight lenses for that Barracuda.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That interior, I mean, I have seen a lot of worse interiors. I prefer the small window over the greenhouses. Yeah, this early Barracudas is very Hemi under glass sort of variety.
Yeah, that's like the early Hemi under glass. Now to the far right.
So that's not a junk car. That's a savable.
To the far right, which they can't see on the screen.
The far right. What about the far left?
Far right. The red one on the far right.
Oh, it's a Mustang too.
For $800. Okay.
Okay, it's a roller, no motor or transmission.
Ah, that's why it's $800.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
But I wouldn't call that junk. I think that's probably a car that could be made into something.
Has some rust, needs floor pans.
Oh,
no title.
No title. Boo.
Oh, parts car.
What are those
There's
wheels?
some rust down there. Those are some unusual wheels. I got to ride in a 65 Barracuda with a factory 273 904. It was my buddy's daughter's car. Very cool. Bob Riggle and the Hemi under glass. If you have not seen Jay Leno and Bob Riggle roll the Hemi under glass, it is the funniest automotive sort of bit. What was it, about 5 years ago?
It's longer than that. Bob Riggle passed away. It was longer than that.
Hilarious. Hilarious. Best.
Well, it's because of the way Jay Leno handled it that made it so damn funny.
I mean, he's a true comedian. Yeah, that's not a junk car. That Ranger we're going to ignore because I already have enough of these around. Okay, I'm going to click on it. Which motor does it have? Tore down to build a mud truck. Never finished. It needs... Gone. Motor and good, needs fuel pump and distributor to run, broke module and distributor. He broke the TFI. Boy, that could be good. Is it a 4-wheel drive?
It has a bunch of stuff.
Where is it? Oh, it's in Mississippi. It's too far. It's too far, or else it would be a good candidate for me. Here's another Mustang. Do you want to look at another Mustang? $1,500. Let's see what an extra couple $100 gets you. 76 Cobra 2. It's also a rolling chassis. It's
got a hole in the hood.
It's got nicer wheels.
They already cut the hole in the hood for you.
That's right. They've already cut the hole. Converted to an automatic, but still has the manual pedals in the car. Comes with a C4. New tires. Doesn't say if it has a title. Let's look at some pictures. It's in primer.
Yeah, so we got somebody in here saying that Pinto was bad. But for those of us that like Pintos, especially wagons, his wagon, the whole fuel system is different. Like Vintage drives a Pinto wagon for his daily get-around parts car. And I know Mexican Spec had some of them, and I certainly had a bunch of them. And I wish I still had one of the wagons. I wish I still had it. What a great car. Look at that.
I mean, that looks like a good start to a project.
Well, can you go back to that picture?
No. That one?
Yeah, I'm looking to see. Got a heater, but no air. Okay, so it's not an air conditioning car, so it's simple.
So you're starting at $1,500.
That's
You
a
need
lot of money. That's a
an
lot of money for
engine
that.
that comes with a transmission, so it needs an engine. That's another $1,000. I saw some exhaust in there, partial header, a set of headers in there, so maybe you've got the start of exhaust. You're at what, about $6,000 to get this car on the road? I don't know. You
I
could,
don't know, Doug. So Duster says Mustang 2 needs a hot 4.6 to make up for the anemic engines they got factory. Well, talk to Mexican Spec about that because he has those things. They all had 302s in Mexico, and they were Mexican 302s, so they didn't have all the smog stuff. And I think were they all manual transmissions? I don't remember if they were or not, but once he gets a Mustang 2 down there, that's an interesting car, you know.
I don't know if anybody likes trucks. I always like to.
What is that thing?
This is a Ram 50.
Oh, Indirect says in Estonia it would cost. Are you in Estonia? I'll get it out yet. Are you in Estonia now? Oh, he retracted it.
$1,200. Rebuilt motor, working 4x4. Has something burned out in the
Oh,
electric.
look at that engine. Somebody
Says-
been there.
He said it's been rebuilt professionally, and that he burned out something in the electrical system.
Sounds like something you'd like.
I mean, that's at 4x4. That could be a lot of fun. 4-cylinder,
1,200
Ram
bucks.
50, $1,200. Living that is savable. That is savable. I can't see the condition of the body. The interior is not nice, but it's very it's workable. And
Indirect says yes, Estonia. No, I didn't.
it looks like a
Okay.
Jeep. I think Mitsubishi made these trucks, didn't
So
they?
you're in Estonia.
It could be fun, but it's just a little mini truck, right?
What do you drive in Estonia? Man, there's probably cars there I'd like.
It's a Mighty Max.
Does anybody have about a 1972 or 3 or 4 in that range? Russian Volga. I like those things. They're kind of like an American car the way they're built, but they're smaller, and it's just an unusual car for here.
Mexican
They're probably junk there.
Mexican Spec. Mostly Mexican Spec only has cars that are like nice because he has to drive them, right? But do you have any cars that are sort of rough that are
Oh,
would make really good candidates for restorations?
Switch over to this because he put this
did
up.
send some
He
stuff.
sent a picture. He goes, "Is this more what you want?" But I don't think this looks like a. Oh, the top's kind of.
It's a little ratty.
It's a little ratty.
But it has the Mexican Spec wings on the roof, which is
The roof
really
had, yeah, it
cool.
has the roof with the blades, whatever you call that. Yeah, look at that roof.
That would blow people's mind. It's
Oh,
just like they'd be like, "What happened to that car?" Because
I like the shape of the roof, but you'd have to pull all that vinyl off there and clean that. Yeah, and it's got some rust right ahead of the wheel well on the quarter panel. Yeah, this is probably the roughest car I've ever seen Mexican Spec have.
And it's not the most desirable front end. People
Look
like
at that
the older
top.
front
What
end.
happened to the top?
The sun got it. It looks like they spray painted it and then it peeled back off. They probably didn't clean off all the adhesive.
Yeah, it's yeah, if any of you looked at Mexican Specs cars, none of them are this rough.
Yeah, I did see the sail panel Mexican Spec. It looks like there's a giant bubble that it probably needs all broken out and sanded and patched and then cleaned back up. It's really not that hard to repair the sail panel area on a car, though.
Let's see, here's indirect, right? Because he says we have every car like everywhere else because we're now Soviet. Okay, let's see here. I have a Buick Park Avenue, 1991. Wow, that's a big car for there, isn't it? That's a pretty cool car. Indirect, but lots of old school stuff here, same like Finland. Man, when I was in Finland, I didn't know what any of the cars were. I saw some Volvos running around, but I didn't spend that much time in Finland. Been there twice, but didn't spend that much time there.
Kevin Smith mentions it's a great idea to have a tetanus shot before washing a car here in Ohio. Yeah. Anytime you're working on old cars, you're going to get cuts and scratches from metal.
Now, look at this. This is the car with the rough roof. Rough roof. But that looks pretty good.
It's all there.
Mexican radiator shop's been into the radiator because they don't paint them afterwards, which I kind of like because then you know what you got.
I mean, the thing of it is you can't call it a junk car because it's roadworthy. It looks roadworthy. That could maybe be junk, but really it only has a flat tire. It might just need the tarp taken off, the tires aired up, and it might start and drive. So I think we're pushing the limits of what's considered a junk car. I don't think this is not necessarily a junk car.
Mexican Spec says that yellow engine would get painted so quickly. I kind of like it because it looks like it's been apart. Okay, you want to go back to your stuff because I'm.
No, that's okay. I was throwing it out there to Mexican Spec that if he has anything that's a little rough, this would be the week to send us something a little rough from Mexico, and we could.
Oh, there's a bunch of stuff
fit
came
topic.
in.
Some other people.
Yeah, I'm downloading more pictures, and then
All
Buddy
right.
Carafano sent some, and
I'm going to jump back over on Marketplace while you do your downloads.
yeah.
Does anybody like Jeeps? I don't know that they're considered junk cars, but some of these are projects. How about I'll scroll down here. How about this 1966 Ford Fairlane wagon? It looks like it's in a junkyard.
Oh, I don't know. That looks like somebody's project.
I don't know. We see it sitting in a row of old cars.
Yeah, like 57 Ford back there, and then
Fairlane wagon, new floor pans. Somebody's been working on it.
911 Ram with a 411 Posse. How much they want for that? I can't see it because
$3,500.
It's covered. The part.
I know. I'm trying to show the pictures.
Okay.
Do you want me to? I can.
Well, you could drag it over the. Oops.
Oh shoot.
It closed.
Yeah. Buttons. I got a lot of buttons. Sometimes I make mistakes. You're just gonna have to. $3,500. 1966 Ford Fairlane in Cumming, Georgia. Let me click through some of these pictures because it looks like this is already a project. It might stay out of the junkyard. I wonder if it doesn't look like it's sitting way too high to have a motor. The back window is down. Is it missing? No bumpers.
Did you see the shop?
No, I'll go back one.
Look at the picture on the door of the shop. You know it's got to be a good place.
Yes. Yeah, they're ready to have some fun. I don't know. Would this make it out of the junkyard? It's a little rusty in the tailgate.
Tailgate's always, that's first place it gets it in Ford wagons.
Cut out some spots.
You got to fix it, yeah. Man, how many you saw for Frizzell Racing?
Oh,
yeah.
They're missing a little bit of the trunk extension. That wagon could be tough. Yeah, it's a little rough. It's going to be hard to find body parts like a tailgate replacement. It's already got a fuel cell in it. Somebody had big dreams. It has a headliner. The interior is not perfect, but it isn't like deplorable. Like when the glass gets busted out and livestock starts living in it, you know it's done. Buff, I showed you guys how much rust my Chevy wagon has. That Fairlane is super clean, Mexican Spec says.
Did any of you see Frizzell Racing? He took a 68 Ford ranch wagon, which is a four-door wagon. I think it's got a FE Ford in it, which is kind of what he likes. And they went on power tour. They got 800 miles from home. And somebody rear-ended him. Did a lot of damage. And
who was that?
Frizzell.
Oh, man.
So then they were stuck. They had a tow truck that towed him that belonged to some hot rod shop, which I have pictures of that. And they took it over there, and the guy was real helpful. It took out his the air system out of his shocks, so the car was set down so his wide tires are going to get chewed by the fenders. But he got that fixed, got the car back up, and it messed up the tailgate and made some other messes back there, messed up the exhaust system. He tied that up with coat hangers or something. And then when it got jarred real hard, it put the fan into the radiator, so they had to find a radiator. And the long story short is they got the thing running and good enough, and they're driving home. So much for a power tour, but he's able to drive it home. It's a pretty good video. If you get a chance, watch Frizzell's racing. Watch his power tour video.
Vintage Adventurer says, I left the window down in my satellite for 2 days one time. I came back to find a chicken had laid eggs in my seat after tearing up the seat.
Oh, man.
That sucks. That leaves a mess. It's not just torn. It's
leave the window down, a chicken starts living.
Yeah. Laying eggs is sort of like having a baby on your seat. It's sort of a mess. Wow.
So let's
Josh Homan is here. Good to see everyone. Homan?
He's been here. You missed him, I guess. I think. I don't know.
I'm working late. That's okay. I'm glad you're able to stop in. Maybe we can keep you company. A lot of times when I'm working in the shop, I'll turn some videos on. Something. It's nice to have something going in the background. I don't feel like I'm all alone working on things if he's not there. So.
This is Crash Roadrunner Garage. Sent this in. Crashes.
Well, that doesn't look crashed as much as rusted. And all the windows are
we're
out.
asking about junk cars, and that's one of those ones that could go either way.
Nah, it's junk.
It's junk. There's something growing on the side of it, mushrooms or something, but yeah, is that a parts car? Man. There's people that make that run. Who's the guy up there in Washington? The guy that making
Mopar.
Kevin's Mopar. His car's worse than this.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. There's a good body style.
That's parts.
It's
worth more in parts than you'll ever.
Kevin says she would be fried chicken.
That's right. But you do get breakfast. People fix those. I don't know why. I mean, it's depends on what you like.
Oh, there's another one from Buddy Carfano. You know what that is? You might have to zoom it in a little bit.
Okay. Dougster said that one needs to come and play at his house. It's a little rough of a photo.
59 Chevy. Yeah, it is. It's we zoomed in really far, and there's a 60 Chevy next to it, and then there's a 60 El Camino next to that. Somebody likes those bat wings. You know who this could be? 38 Racing.
That's 38 Racing.
He's got a yard full of these things.
Yeah, I'm surprised 38 Racing isn't here with pictures. Man.
He probably considers his stuff nicer than this.
He's probably out working, trying to get something together for the summer.
Finish says, I would send in a picture of the bent fender on my 71 Satellite, but I conveniently don't take pictures of that side.
That's right. As long as it's like all together, it doesn't have to look nice, and you just take pictures of the other side. You have to have a good angle for your car. That's what's important. It had a tire on the hood for a long while. Yeah, that could be.
And then here's one that...
Kevin says it's a Batwing 59.
It is. You're going to have to back out a little bit. Okay. I know. When I put these pictures up that are not...
That are links. Little bits.
That are links, you got to do the zoom.
Squishy. I got it. That picture's a little bit blurry.
Well, Buddy Carfano sent in a bunch of links, and some of them are blurry. I'm just trying to get through them quickly. Oh, what is this? What is this? That's a Torino. Oh, that's a Torino with one of those, the nose that goes down like that. What was that thing called? Somebody tell me. That's a Torino Talladega? Is that what that's called? I think. That's a really special car. Man. That's when When Chrysler had the wing cars, Ford had this.
Oh, right. I think we looked those up before.
Trying to make something that would compete.
Do
Yeah,
you
Talladega, Mexican spec. He got it. Yeah, Talladega. And then Hippie Long says Daytona. Daytona was the Charger, wasn't it?
I'll bring up
Come on, click.
a picture here. Here's the Torino Talladega in its prime.
Yeah, see, they moved the grill way out to the front so the air would flow around it, and then they snooted the nose down a little bit to make it less area up front. And my shoulder's in the way of probably another one. Yeah, that's a pretty good one there.
Which one?
The one that's right by my shoulder. I'm blocking its view.
That one?
Well, that one.
Okay.
I don't know. They're all there. They're all Talladegas. There's not very many of them.
Mexican Spec says the Mercury version is more rare and more cool.
He's right. It is more rare. But what was the Mercury version called? King Cobra was something else. It never ran. Mercury Cyclone spoiler. Is that what it was? What was the Mercury? It's behind your head, Kim. It's still behind your head. Cyclone spoiler, too. Yeah, the Mercury. We got ads.
Looks Australian. You know what? It kind of does, Hippie Long. Also, welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Thanks for stopping in. Welcome to the Tuesday night stream. We were visiting with a friend and watching an old rerun of our program. We were showing them what we do and how we use a green screen and do all this. Man, are we boring! That's why he's trying to push me to go fast.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched for an hour watching us. And I said, this is the most boring thing I've ever watched because we left the same picture up too long. We rattled on about the same thing and I got real repetitive. I said, I'm not doing that anymore. We're going to keep things flowing. I've had enough of that. I told her I'm never doing that again. So, trying to, what's this? Kevin said, broke my left foot Sunday, dropped the stupid sweeper canister.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Kevin.
Mexican Specs, Enterprise.mex.mx ad.
Okay, Mexican Spec, you get 2 points for your advertisement. Anybody else get an advertisement? You get points if you tell me about them.
Dougster says RO male enhancement ad.
Vintage Adventure Drive says lives suck without the comments section. Yeah, it's not nearly as much fun rewatching a live when it's not interactive. I think that's the whole point, is the sense of community, the sense of inclusion that we get because we know that we're there. We can think about what's going on, and it's like a journey. We're taking you on a journey. We try and make it entertaining. And if anybody has ideas, we'll take constructive criticism. How can we do better? We want it to be good. Sent you an email with a good picture, said Adventure.
I got it up on the screen right now.
We're going from the Talladega.
She's got swap.
I'm glad that we have a format that includes people telling us about what's going on. Oh, there's some cars in this picture, I see.
And look at this. Oh, look at it's like a whole bunch of good cars. What is the one there that I used to race? Except yours was a Dodge, wasn't it? That's a Plymouth
Bellari wagon. Yeah.
And then there's that Satellite or Roadrunner or whatever it is. Oh. And then a Camaro.
Oh, and it looks like the Camaro's got engine out maintenance.
Engine out maintenance. Looks like something that's not stock. And it's got a drink in the carburetor hole to keep the stuff from going down.
Keep the bees mud wasps from making nests in there, because man, they will make a nest anywhere. I'm addicted to live stream chats, says Kevin. Well, good. Well, I hope you're happy. We're giving you what you need when you're here.
I'm gonna plug something here. I see that drink in the intake manifold, probably to keep crap from going down in there. But if any of you watch Lunar Outlaw, he makes these things that go right on there, and it's a dish to put all your tools and parts and stuff in, and it goes right where that carburetor goes, which is a pretty cool little thing.
This
Oh, this is
that
another thing
reminds
too.
me,
Yeah.
right? All right. If you have 50 points, that means you've been watching for a long time and participating. You're like we appreciate you a lot. For 50 points, if you're looking for something, this was made by and donated to us from WAF Racing. And it is a 3D printed thing that you could set on the top of your carburetor when you're working. You can put your screwdrivers in there and your parts and stuff like that.
Has a place for 8 spark plugs that you can keep them in order.
These things are expensive, but we don't use it. So as a giveaway, if you want it, send a request to Bucktail Campo.
If you're in the U.S.
in the United States, I'll pay for shipping. Right? We'll send it to you for 50 points. And yeah, with the screwdriver. Okay, this screwdriver is kind of neat.
Oh, you're going to give the screwdriver away too?
I might as well give it together as a set because it all came from WAF Racing. It was very generous of them to offer it to us. And I whitened, there you go. You could see the WAF Racing. I put white paint on it, and so you can index your carb. It's got little numbers and a little satisfying clicker. 50 points. You can redeem, and I will ship it to you.
Dougster says, sign me up.
Okay,
sign you up? Sign you up for that? You got 50 points?
I'm sure Dougster has 50 points. Come on. Vintage Adventure Drive says the 305 destroyed the number 4 piston after a bunch of RPM with a solid lifter cam. Oh, you can only do so much. I don't know what the limitations are on any of these motors as far as lifter speed and stuff like that. RC Cola is my favorite pop. All right, Kevin. Well, just imagine that that's an RC Cola. It's right there, keeping that engine happy. Were you able to fix it, Vintage? Like, if it destroyed the number 4 piston after a bunch. Oh, man. So it's like wrecked. That sucks. Well, it's only a 305. They're not too hard to find replacement for. Hopefully you can get it back together.
Buddy Carvana sent this. It's a 65 Mustang for $5,000.
Vintage Adventure says that's next week's video. The
What's
hole
that?
in it. He's going to show the teardown on the 305. Wait, who sent us this?
Buddy Carvana.
Oh, it's a Ford Mustang Coupe. It's in Miami, Florida.
Do it for $5,000. I mean, it's a bunch of money for a car that's probably doesn't run, but it's a 65 Mustang, so
It doesn't run?
I don't know. Well, let's see. You'd have to scroll a little, and I can't see what it says. It says has 81,000 miles. Oh, maybe it does run. 6-cylinder. The engine very similar to my engine.
3-speed automatic.
Probably needs some work, but it's probably a good place to start.
Nearly
$5,000.
new.
$5,000.
Yeah, but not I mean, it's bad paint, but it's not even arguably a junk car. It's a classic car.
He also sent another car for sale. It's sort of interesting. Oops, but you're going to have to scroll down a little bit.
Someone mentioned they watched my video and they liked it. I want to go back and say that. Find that comment. Anyways, I put out my first video in a while. I was working on the Dart and I fixed my carburetor. So hopefully you were able to see that video. If not, check it out after the stream.
You found birch beer in California? That's amazing, Hippie Long. I haven't. The only place I've ever seen that is in Maryland and Pennsylvania. Let's see here. And birch beer is not beer. It's like root beer. It's a soft drink.
Can you scroll down? What's the classic? What's the overview on it? 3,500 seems like a good price for a 2-door 67 Pontiac GTO, but it looks kind of light in the front. Does it maybe not have any engine?
Can you? They're asking you to scroll down because they can't see
it's on your screen.
No. I think you have to do that.
It's on your screen. I cannot scroll your screen.
Oh, okay. I thought you had to move that because it's a link, not a picture.
Is it a link? But it's a website. You're on the website, aren't you?
Maybe. I don't know.
What is it, like Bring a Trailer or something like that?
I don't know. Buddy Carfano put them up.
Speedway Auto Mall.
So where is it?
It is in Illinois.
McChesney Park. I don't know where that is. 61115. Chesney Park, Illinois. GTO or Le Mans? Let's see. Can I scroll that? It says 67 Pontiac GTO. I don't know. Can I click on the pictures?
You can. It's your screen. Scroll on down. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's an Illinois car. Oh, it's a little rusty.
I'm trying to read what it says. Does that say Le Mans or GTO? Is that a GTO? It says GTO, but I don't know.
Man.
The logos are all screwed up.
Oh, look
at that quarter panel.
Crunched it is. I don't think that's a $3,500 car.
Well, except it's a GTO. I don't know. That's junk car? Or is it a good car? Mexican Spec says not a GTO. Lester LeSabre. Good evening. Lester LeSabre? What the heck? Lester LeSabre,
Lester?
isn't he a mod?
No, Kevin Smith.
Maybe not. What am I thinking? I don't know.
Lester LeSabre liked my video.
Yep.
Thank you very much. It was just off the cuff. I had the carburetor open still. I had already fixed it, and I was like, oh, I can show this. It was wild. I was talking to him, and I was like, I'm just not getting very good. I mean, I was getting really bad fuel mileage. I'm like, if it's not leaking, where the hell's it going? Is the engine really drinking that much? And it is. Because light throttle is where it's just wasting fuel. I'm hoping it's a little more peppy with the right mixture. It should be a little bit less lethargic. Not that it runs bad, but for a brand new build, it's a little bit like, eh.
Mexican Spec says it's a Le Mans according to the VIN.
Well, thank you, Mexican Spec.
But then they're going to advertise it as a GTO to try to get people's attention.
Right. And I mean, for a clone, it's a hell of a good start as a clone.
Well, I mean, you can make a Le Mans a nice car,
Yeah, that one, I don't know.
Oh, what is this? Buddy Carfano, you sent me a link that's like 8 pages long.
If they're demanding $3,500 for it,
came
then
up
it's
though.
Junk.
It worked.
Because sometimes the reason cars become junk is because the people won't be realistic on the price. And so it sits there until it rots. And some people are like, let it rot. Like, okay. Kim, you have not test driven since the repair. No, it's still sitting in the garage. I was doing some wiring under the dash, and I didn't want to crawl under the dash anymore, so I took a break and did the carburetor, but I need to crawl back under the dash. I actually installed an additional voltage regulator for the computer and some of the modern electronics that will be in the car. So that instead of getting somewhere between 9 and 15 volts, I'm going to have like a steady 12 volts so I don't burn out electronics. And I'm putting certain things on, like the voltage regulator for the gas gauge will be on there, so it will be steady and consistent. And then the cigarette lighter, so if I have like USB devices and stuff, that they're not getting burned out by the high voltage, because the base system runs a charging voltage that's like 14.8 or whatever, and that's correct. But that's just a very wide range for electronics to try and...
Kippy Long says you're out of touch with car prices.
Who?
Kippy Long says that about you.
Me.
Well, read it.
Look, car prices are out of touch with reality. Those cars are going to sit in rot. There's lots and lots of classic cars that need full restorations sitting in fields and tree rows and stuff like that. Just because you drag it out into the sunlight and say it's for sale does not make it worth. It's not gold. It's not gold. The people who think those cars, they're the same people who aren't willing to do all the work. They're too busy. They have other things. Everybody's too busy. Everybody has other things to spend their money on. It's not worth that much money in its raw, rotten form. You know, it just isn't.
John Hart's here.
They're out of touch.
John Hart's here. Good evening.
That's my take on it. People who want exorbitant prices for cars just because they're old are out of touch.
Here's one. This is in California. I can't believe this is in California. What'd they do? Park it on the beach? Underwater?
Does it have a motor in it?
Ojai, California. It is near the beach. But
scroll down. Does it have a motor? Does it say have a motor in it? Oh, there's no description. It's just a picture. They just want you to buy on a picture.
It's a what do you call it? It's an eBay.
Oh, I don't know where the descriptions are on those.
I'm trying to.
Parts are not working.
I'm struggling with the cursor, trying to make it do what I want it to do.
If you're looking for a parts car because you already have a 71 Fiat and you need, what would you take off of there?
That's a mess.
That's a junk car. Junk.
Are we all going to agree that's a junk car?
Junk.
Okay, I'm going to take it down.
It's junk. It's cool. It's yard art, but it'll never be a car again.
Yeah, Ojai is up in hills, but close to Oxnard. Yeah, I figured it was right there along the beach, Oxnard.
Mexican Spec says it wasn't a good car when it was new. Yeah, I mean it's cool. It's old, but I mean.
Kevin Smith, wish my warden knew what Kim knows about cars.
I don't know if I know anything. I have opinions. That doesn't mean I know what I'm talking about. Fix it again, Tony. There you go. So what about these cars? We got this picture up.
I know.
Be gentle, but what about these cars? This wagon. None of these cars are junk. Those are good cars. And that truck over there is a Ford. So, other than the motor, it's probably pretty good.
I'm going to put up this back up again. I do like that roof line. That car's a bit rough.
It depends. If the seller was reasonable about the price, had a reasonable expectation of what they were going to get for it. And keep in mind, as a Mexican car, it probably doesn't have holes in the floorboards and the trunk, or maybe just pinholes. The doors are solid, the fender, everything's solid. It's probably not full of Bondo, right? It looks like a cheap paint job, so it probably needs real paint to be anything nice. But the bumpers don't look all rusted out and stuff like that. If it's a running serviceable car, it's absolute nice start for a project. But and then the mileage depends too. I see nice looking cars.
See what I'm drinking? Not a sponsor, but that's not
Dr.
Perky is the $1 version of Dr. Pepper. Just what, a $3 bottle?
You can buy body parts to repair the rust. Oh, the rust is not even that difficult. But the problem is you just start throwing logs on the fire. It needs some body work. How much mechanical work does it need?
You know what?
How much interior work does it need?
What year is that? You know what I also noticed?
It looks like a good start.
You know what I noticed about that? No vent windows. It's just got a one-piece roll-up window.
Oh, they did that.
So what year did they do that?
Later, like 74, 75, something like that.
Oh yeah, it's got this nose piece on it. But see, Mexican cars are all different, so I know what. Yeah, I don't know what year they are. Because.
And then, if you're trying to get it from Mexico, you're talking about a substantial amount of investment just moving it from Mexico to where you're working. So if you're in Chicago and you're looking at this car, it would have to be really cheap.
Yeah, Kevin Smith says it looks like a fastback swinger. See, this is how they looked in Mexico.
5,700 to the border.
They had that. This is.
And but you can drive it to the border, right? Mexican spec?
Well, he hopes he can. You know, I don't know. I don't know if he's seen this car in person or not. Look at that roof. Yeah, that roof needs some work. But it's pretty cool looking the way that swoops back there in the Mexican
It
ones.
might just need paint to be a really good
Yeah, it might be
car.
a good runner. You know, who knows?
I mean, did we see pictures of the interior? Is there an interior picture there?
Oh, yeah, there is.
I want to see now. Oh, I mean, it's complete. It's nothing to write home about. It's got Bugs Bunny.
It's got the Valiant type.
This is a 3-speed?
It's got the Valiant type instrument panel, like a American Valiant.
There's a box.
Or maybe they did that in the dark too. I don't know.
I don't see a shifter. It looks like a 3-speed manual. I'm confused.
Kim is confused. I'm looking for a clutch pedal. Is that what that is? That's a clutch pedal down there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but I don't see a shifter. I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's right behind the steering wheel spoke. The right-hand steering wheel spoke. There's a shift lever
so it's
behind
a 3
it.
on a tree?
Yeah, it's in first gear right
in
now,
the
or in third gear.
mid-70s.
3 speed on the column.
Huh.
Mexican Spec says I could do a complete paint for about $1,500 US. I don't care for deck lid design either, Gearhead says.
Yeah, Gearhead, that's not the most, like, sought-after version of
But I sure like the
front end and such.
I sure like the long top, that long swooped out top,
It's
the way
really
the Mexicans did it.
It's a really neat car.
Hippie Long says I have every car I own needing paint. You gotta hustle it down to Mexico. I don't know if I'd take a car into Mexico or not. I'd get one out of Mexico, but I don't know if I'd take my own car into Mexico. I don't know.
I would more trust, like, having a liaison in Mexico take my car in to get it worked on.
Break out the roller. You roller. Then if you roller the paint on your car, there's a lot of cut and buff to do.
Can I take a quick break and get myself a refill on my beverage?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's find you something. Make sure I have the right screen up for you for the next segment, so you can keep moving while I'm gone.
Says Heavy Long says that dart would win awards at an old Mopar shows because of that long top.
It would, because it's something special. You can't get anything like that.
The Mexican Spec says there are shops close to the border that do good work. You know, there were totaled cars from the U.S. that used to get taken to Mexico, and they would there was when I was living in Yuma, and then they'd fix them there and then bring them back, and those cars always look really good, and you know, you knew where they went to get fixed, and they'd be on Marketplace, and they'd have what do you call them, salvage titles, but you know they were fixed in Mexico. Oh, here's another one. Barn finds. Let's see. Another one that. What is that? Oh, how do you fix this? This is current bid $100. Well, you know it's not going to go for that. Corona, California. Title missing. Boo. 144 cubic inch inline 6 automatic. It's a 60 Ranchero, right? No, it's a 61 Ranchero. I want to take that down unless somebody's interested in leaving it there. Yeah, missing title. I saw that. Missing title. I see stuff with missing title, I just skip over it. What does that mean? Stolen? I don't know. Somebody didn't finish paying for it. Who knows? Of course, that age, it might just be missing. What is this? Classic Cars. I can't read it. ClassicCars.com. 62 Ford Galaxy. I've had a couple of those many years ago. Great for parts or restoration. Yeah, that's what our. So is that a parts car or is that a restoration car? Man, that's probably a parts car. I don't know. That's pretty rough. Oh, that one's a parts car. I'm not even sure that's a parts car. I wouldn't want to try to fix that. What is it? 57? 57 Olds 98 convertible. No title, no motor, no trans, no hood, no top bows, and missing much of the windshield trim. Looks like it's missing a lot of the body because it's so rusty. Oh man. What
junk.
What do they want for that?
That's not even yard art.
Not even yard art. Yeah, that's what the neighbors call and complain.
That's weight. That's scrap weight.
$5,000.
What?
Okay, this is somebody that's dreaming.
Not even dreaming. It's insanity. What is the car?
It's a 57 Olds that says, okay, watch what it says here. When you go down here, Kim's gone. She's got to see that. No title, no motor, no trans, no hood, no top bows, and missing much of the windshield trim. Very rare car. Yeah, what car? Car is not fixable by itself. Frame is rusted out. Most of the sheet metal. Okay. What is? And then he wants $5,000.
This is nothing.
That's worth. Pay me to take it away, and I'll give it to the guy that goes to get rid of. What do you do with that?
That is scrap in every way.
All right, moving that little piece of chrome around the taillight might be okay.
I mean, people will ask that. That is scrap. Scrap. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Oh, Kevin Smith got me a beverage. Thank you very much, Kevin.
Oh, what is that beverage? This looks better than yours.
Dawn is here. Welcome to the stream. One-eyed cat.
One-eyed cat. Did you? Yeah, I got to tell a story, a little story. We were over at my stepmom's house, and we were helping her with a few things, and she's 91 years old, and so we were watching our video, just watching a little bit of it, show her what we were doing, and One-Eyed Cat's in there. And I said, and she has cats around there, so I explained where the name One-Eyed Cat came from, and she thought it was pretty funny. That's a story.
She was amused.
She's a fun
All right,
person.
well, while you're downloading, I'm going to jump back on to Marketplace. In Terre Haute, Indiana, we have a 74 Chevy
Terre Haute.
1500 extended cab. No, this is a Vega. I don't know why it's in the wrong description. It is... Motor mounts are in the floorboard, $800 at best offer. No title.
Oh, Mexican spec. Nobody went up the ladder. She has a very tall ceiling, and the smoke detector was right on the top. And she has another guy that comes over that has a tall ladder. So we're going to do that. What we did was we ended up moving our box springs from downstairs to upstairs, and we moved TV around and some other things. We just helped it out a little bit, and we went to dinner. We went to a Mexican restaurant that was so good. So anyway, that's what we did. Yeah, what is this you're showing, Kim?
A 1986 Pontiac Firebird convertible. Clean title. 86 Firebird. Most everything is there. 305. And rebuilt turbo 350 transmission. Have a set of wheels that go on it as well as shown. Okay. Has some booty damage and rust. Fixed up if somebody was really interested. Willing to part out. Rather sell whole. Does have an engine.
Click to another picture. Yeah, that's a boring picture. What is that?
I don't know.
Something somebody thinks is important. Oh, and a stupid movie. A movie on its side.
All right, we'll move on from that. Sorry.
I don't like ads like this.
Okay.
Dean Stevens is here. Good evening. And he got Ozito. I don't know how you pronounce that. Ozito. Power tools and Google ads for everything. Abandoned convertible. She's dead, Jim. What was that purple van?
I cannot go back.
Okay, and then, well, there's $1,000 Dodge, 83 Dodge.
Oh, I mean, that's just an old truck if you want one.
You're into old trucks. I could see that getting towed into our
I got
yard.
enough old trucks. I see them all the time.
And Mexican Spec says you passed a Corvette for $3,500.
I passed a Corvette. All right, I will try and go back. Corvettes. There's a lot of Corvettes around here.
Once you go back, it's hard to go. Oh, now we got ads. But you got time then to look for the Corvette.
Oh, well, let's hope that's not junk. That's a running Corvette. 86 Corvette. It was a project car, but now runs and drives perfect. No check engine light. Has 2 new front tires. Interior could use some work. Air blows cold, but not cold. Heat. Works transmission shifts. Sometimes no start. Crack in the windshield. It's a driver. Looks like original paint, perhaps. It has dual exhausts, Corvette exhaust. It has
those wheels.
Corvette wheels, got the digital dash. Crossfire injection. There you go.
That's not Crossfire.
No? Tune port?
That's tune port injection.
Okay.
Okay, what do we got here?
Josh got a Quest Diagnostic ad. You get 2 points. Mexican Spec got a GoDaddy ad. You get 2 points. If anybody else threw out the name of an advertiser, you can
Josh Holman, Quest Diagnostics.
award yourself 2 points.
Quest Diagnostics ad.
I already read that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Thanks for our advertisers for paying for all our kilobits per second, because they cost a lot of money, and the advertisers, they want to tell you about their products. So they do that, and we appreciate you enduring that advertisement when you're actually here to be entertained, not to be marketed to. So thanks for being here and letting them tell you about their product. Okay.
They were so cool when they came out. Yeah, I bought an 87 Corvette when I was 20 years old, and I had it for 10 years and got rid of it. It was a fun car, but it needed a lot. It was one of those cars I had to always work on.
128,000 miles. What was $3,500? That's actually a really nice little car. Not much of a grocery getter. Can't really haul anything. What's the towing capacity on a Corvette?
But he says, Dean Stevenson says, every part of those I like. Most Australian GM cars share the same brakes. Buff Del Campo is right. They are dead to feel and don't clamp down as well as some of the other big disc brake. Yeah, they don't. They were okay. I mean, I could stop the car, but I had cars with drum brakes. I think they stopped just as well. Although they stop straight. And the drum brakes, a lot of times, will do this thing where you're on them real hard. They kind of scoot one way or the other.
Space Cat says, I remember Mary Lou Retton getting one of those when she won gold in 1984. That's a prize.
Oh, that would have been
Wow.
a Crossfire.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you get for winning the gold in 1984. Brand new Corvette. That was the king
Mexican
stuff back
Mexican
then.
spec says you can put groceries in the back. The rear glass goes up. Yeah, I did that. And then I put the rest of the groceries on the seat next to me, and I could barely see over. And you know what? That's the last time I went to the grocery store and did a lot of grocery shopping. If I went to the grocery store in a Corvette, I bought like one or two things. Because one time I did that, it was like, I didn't think I was going to get all the stuff home.
That's a sporty car.
But that,
$3,500. Yeah. They're pretty fast, aren't they?
they're okay.
Is
They're
it probably just the 305?
no, they're 350, 230 horsepower. That was the last year for the solid, the flat tappets.
I just don't feel like
Mine had the rollers.
a Corvette. I just don't feel like I don't know.
Those are, I don't think you'd be comfortable in that thing.
What's that?
They're kind of hard to get in and out of. There's not all, you can't recline the seat. They recline, but they only recline like, the seat reclines further than you can recline it because there's the body work back there where the rear end is. So they're, I don't know. I didn't find it to be a very comfortable car. And I'm smaller than you are, so I don't know.
Kevin
might like
Smith
it.
says every commercial his screen goes black and he has to log in again.
What?
I'm sorry you're having problems. I don't know what's going on, Kevin. That's obnoxious. It sounds like a problem with YouTube right now. Unless, what browser are you using, or are you on?
You have an
phone?
aftermarket bad blocker?
No. Remember last week it was doing something weird that was new as well. I don't think it's just you, Kevin. I don't know why the problem's persisting.
Mexican Spec says, did Kim ask if Corvette had a 305? Well, you got to remember, Kim's a lot younger than we are.
I've never messed with a Corvette.
They were 305 Corvettes, but that was back in the few years before this. And no, these had
I've just been
350s.
noticing that a lot of older Chevys, especially in the 80s, that they put a 305 in everything. Everything. And people hated them. They said they were like weak and anemic. And like people just, because I see Corvettes a lot. People are getting rid of them, and they have, Corvette engines in them, and people don't care nothing about them. I just assumed they were 305s that people were yanking out of them.
Yeah, Mexican Spec. The lighting on these, that's what, mine was a year newer than this. It was all
Would
the same.
you rather have this or a Trans Am?
See, what year is this?
Same
85?
money, same condition. 86.
86. Man, that would be a third gen Trans Am. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I've had one of these. Yeah, I might want the Trans Am. I don't know.
How do we feel so I have no, like, how do I not feel anything for this car? It was like such an amazing sports car when it was new, wasn't it? Mary Lou Retton won one of these. It must have been the thing that everybody wanted. Lots of Camaros had 305s. Okay, that's probably what I'm seeing, Space Cat.
Mexican Spec says, I expect her to know things. Well,
I don't
you
know.
start asking about Chrysler products. She probably knows
start
all
asking
the,
me about
she knows all the
stamp
Mopar stuff. She's going to know about
Ask
it.
me about junk. I know
And
all kinds of stuff.
She
about
raced
junk.
Land 6s, and she like right right on top of it.
This car was out of my pay grade until like 2 years ago. And then finally I can afford a car like that. Maybe a little bit more recently, but like now that it's this old, I can afford it. Just what I want. A car this old. Where is it? I do want this car. I'm going to go buy it.
I like this thing. When I was driving mine around,
I know where that is.
I was driving back and forth between Tennessee and Arizona a lot. And, like going across Arkansas in the middle of the night, just sitting back, rolling along about 75 miles an hour, the cruise control on. It was pretty cool. Felt like you're flying a fighter jet or something. And yeah, you're sitting low to the ground, but there was almost no cars out there. Man, one time I was in Arkansas, cruising along, and some car passed me. I don't remember what it was. He's flying along pretty good. In my mirror, I see something up coming up, and it looks like it's really going. And it was a new Dodge Charger, and that Charger went by me like I was going probably about 70 or 75. And that Charger went by me probably 100 miles an hour faster than I was going. It was a Arkansas what do you call him, state trooper. He just flew by me. And then I'm driving ways. And pretty soon, way up there, I could see the blue lights flashing. And I got up there. That first car that passed me, he had it pulled over. Like 10 miles up the road. But he went and got that guy. Man, I never seen a cop go that fast in my life. There's no joking with Arkansas state troopers.
Mexican Spec explains it to some degree. Is that the Corvette was the flagship for Chevrolet. Other divisions weren't allowed to make faster cars until the Grand National. That explains it. Mexican Spec follows up with a Corvette in 84. Or no, the Monte Carlo in 84 had a 350 because there was no Corvette in Mexico. So they were allowed to make a fast Monte Carlo. That's pretty neat. I wonder if those have some value. Raw Dog was talking about he was at the off-road races last week and posted some videos. And Mexican Spec, I don't know if you are or Kevin, is anybody have links where they can find Raw Dog and put a link?
Yeah, put the link up to his channel.
So if people want to see the off-road race videos, they can find Raw Dog's channel easily because Raw Dog's here. He's been a good member of the community.
Well,
we should check him out. Give him some support.
Raw Dog sent me an email, a couple of emails that where he was and everything, and I responded to it. So I said, I hope you're having fun. But I didn't go and look at his video yet. Okay, Buddy Carvana sent up another one for sale here.
Oh, another interesting car for sale. Okay, yeah, let's get off of Marketplace. I don't know. We got deviated.
Oh, there you go. Mexican Spec's got him up there.
Thank you, Mexican Spec. Yeah, check out his channel. Give him a subscription if you enjoy what he does.
Can I click on
I didn't
that?
check it out, but you can. Yeah.
Let me see what I can do.
If you click on... Oh, wait, you can't click on it here. You'd have to click on it from your computer.
From mine, yeah. I'm trying to figure that out here. Something is not...
Oh, you're moving pictures around.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeez, what did I do? What did I do? I'm sorry.
It's okay. You just clicked a different button.
You know, I didn't mean to click a different button. I just
Mexican
did.
Spec says fix them all.
What did I do, Kim? I got lost. I'll bring it up again. I don't know.
NASCAR needed the Monte Carlo. The Corvette was not raced. Yeah,
okay, let's back up. Now let's see if I can do this without screwing it up.
Kevin doesn't like fiberglass because it itches. Oh man, the pink stuff.
Well, that kind of fiberglass.
You know, my all day installing fiberglass insulation.
Man, I can work on fiberglass day after day after day after day, and I love it. I'm pretty good with that stuff. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna bring this up onto my computer. Okay, I see what he's got. I'm going to subscribe to Raw Dog.
Luis asks, is that the Christine car?
Okay, Raw Dog, I just subscribed to you. Now, how do I get out of this? What did I do?
You can just exit.
Well...
Or you can click back.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay. I got it. I had a lot of tabs open. I just...
Allergies to fiberglass? I don't think you're alert, or maybe it could trigger an allergic reaction. Wow, that's...
I know people that have allergic reactions to epoxy, but most of the epoxy, they've got that stuff a whole lot better, a whole lot less poisonous now.
It's sheet material compound from 84 onwards, says Dean.
SMC. Yeah, it has like a skin over it. It's a different thing, but it's still a. I think SMC is still a polyester. I think later they went mostly to.
Dean says it's the same stuff the Fiero is made from.
I thought the Fiero was a plastic-like stuff. I didn't think the
plastic
Fiero.
like
I didn't think
Saturn.
the Fiero was that hard, but maybe it is. I don't know. I've never had a
The
Fiero
problem
car.
with the plastic of a Saturn, right, is the outer panels visibly don't rust, but the underside of the car is still made out of
Oh,
steel,
Corvette's like
and
that too.
you just can't see the rust, which is dangerous. I have seen Saturns fall apart up in the north, and the car looks fine, but it was not safe to be on the road. Olive says fiberglass is an irritant regardless. Also insert out. Oh yeah, it's just awful stuff.
Okay, that Cadillac that's up there. I like that body style. I like it a lot.
Doesn't look junk.
Is that car? That car might be worth saving.
No
I don't
engine
think
or
it's junk.
transmission. I think it could be a project.
Yeah, but you could
starter.
put. There's a lot of GM engines that go in there, or you could put any Cadillac engine in there. Yeah. That's,
Are you
yeah.
able to click through the images of
I
it?
don't know. I'll try.
Is there like a lefty righty button?
I do like the body style a lot.
Yeah, and it's a two-door. That's a bold car. Oh yeah, that's a doer. Now what are they asking for it? Does it say an asking price?
Trying to find the close thing. How do you close that? Like that.
$6,000.
Marysville, California. That's Beale Air Force Base up there,
I think
center of the state, about 50 miles north of Sacramento.
if you were a Cadillac person, like if you already owned a couple of parts cars, that this would be a hell of a builder. But I think
And that area of California is not an area that gets a lot of rusty business on cars. They're pretty clean up there. 40, 50 miles north of Sacramento.
I think that for the right person, this is an amazing car. I think that you'd have to haggle that $6,000 price, but that looks like a lot of car to start with. If
Depends
you
on what
love
the-
Cadillacs,
Yeah, it depends on what the interior looks like.
if you have access to an engine, or if you're, if your idea for your project, like LS swap it. If you're gonna do an LS swap on something, yeah, save this car, put an LS in it.
What is
That's a
Hippie Long
yacht,
says
2 zip codes, yeah.
rear window is $5,000. Yeah, don't
What-
break any glass.
Wait, where is that?
Hippie Long said that rear window is $5,000.
Oh, I see. So even in parts, the car is worth way more than 6. Man, $5,000 window. That's scary.
That's worse than my car.
That's scary. Owning a car where parts are more expensive than what you paid for the car.
I'm trying to close some of this stuff. I had too much stuff open.
Still
Which is
smaller
not
than
good.
a new 4-door truck. Oh man, everything's smaller than that. Those. Yeah, land yacht, no way. His Toyota Tundra, his son's new Toyota Tundra. It's huge, and it's not even the biggest truck they make.
That thing's an enormous truck. What is it? 66 Impala Sport Coupe. Wow, 10,750.
That's what they go for.
Where is that?
It's got an engine and
It
transmission.
says it's Ermine white. I think it's like multicolored.
And it's more than one color.
Price. Oh, 10,750. I'm not the price. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Scroll down a little more. I think it says on the side. Nope.
I like to see where cars are from because that gives an idea how bad the underside of it's going to be.
Yeah. It also. Oh, there's some more pictures. Here you go. Keep scrolling. Is it missing something around the headlights? There's additional
Yeah, the
bezels
headlight.
that it's
Yeah,
missing.
they're gone.
Missing some of the trim.
Den of Dreams Garage. Good evening.
Somebody put the patina shine on it a little bit. I wonder, is there an interior picture?
It's got snow tires or mud tires or something on the
Yeah,
back.
just rollers. Rollers. Mexicans, since when did people start asking 5 digits for cars that needs everything?
Yeah, and that car does need everything.
I mean, people have been asking
It's a
absurd
good-
prices for cars.
I think that's a good place to start. That kind of car right there. That's a good project. but it does. It's going to need everything you tear into. That's a complete thing.
I think that car is worth 4,000, 5,000, 5, 6.
Make up your mind.
Runs and drives, but it's not a very desirable drivetrain.
283 and automatic.
Right. So the factory specs on the car are not anything to brag about. So it's going to be a resto mod no matter what. It's not that original, so it's never going to be like a Survivor original car. Like I think 10. I think once you're done, it might be worth 10. But you can't ask the finished price for a car that's a starter. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, I need to talk for a minute. Okay. After I learned a lot watching our video last week at somebody else's house. And I told Kim, I said, we gotta make a move quicker. We gotta show pictures more quickly, and we gotta cut it off after a couple hours. Because it just went on and on and on and on. It's like I can't even watch this. It was so bad. So I think I wanna start shutting down here pretty soon. We need a subject for next week. What are we going to do next week? We've been on almost 2 hours, Kim. So I want some suggestions. Who was it? Kevin Smith suggested this one. He decided it wasn't so good. I don't know. I think we had a good time tonight. We had some rough cars to look at, but
Hey,
it was
John.
okay.
But it's not a big block car. It's a small V8 with a 3-speed. If you put a big block in it, then it'll be worth 10. But it doesn't have a big block in it. And it was never a big block, so then it won't even be original. You know.
So Mexican Spec says, we know it goes on and on and on and on and on. Okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, I think a lot
I
of
couldn't
people
even watch it. It was going on so long.
Some people come early, other people come in late. We have a lot of people here now hanging out, discussing things and talking. So I think we're doing good things. But also, I mean, being critical of our own selves is we don't want to drag it out. Right?
Okay, so
I think we had some fun. We showed all the stuff that viewers sent in.
Kevin says, my face is red. Sorry. Now, wait a minute. We started off just like showing some junk cars, but then we kind of changed course a little bit and still kept it in the theme.
Had fun.
And we had some older cars, and we were looking at them. Okay, is that junk or is that something restorable? You know, and I think it was okay. I think we had a good time.
The theme is not critical anyways. It's not critical. It's just to give us some continuity to the discussion. I got all dressed up.
For 2 hours.
For only 2 hours? Yeah,
Let's see.
I took you home right after the movie, Kevin. I bought you
Dean
popcorn.
Stevens, no, obviously you don't love yourself as much as we do, buffing backwards Kimberghini.
He's feeling very critical of himself.
Well, what you want to go for another half hour? You want to just, I don't know. Right now, I want to know, what are we going to do next time? Luis says, again, a 1973 Dodge Dart.
It's a Mexican Dodge Dart.
That's a special Dodge Dart.
Yeah, Gearhead says it depends, because sometimes we're vibing and having a good time. Sometimes, I definitely don't think there's any reason for us to intentionally drag it out any longer than 2 hours. But if we're getting comments and people are having a good time, we don't have to shut up.
I'm wearing my wife's jumper.
We don't have any more emails as far as I'm aware.
No, there's no more emails right there. Right. Why do you grab my mouse?
And not too many. Buddy, thank you, Buddy Carfano, for sending a bunch of stuff that was relevant to the comments.
And Steve Edwards just popped in.
And really nobody, wait, somebody sent us in a picture of was it Vintage Adventure? Who sent us a picture of their driveway and their project, told us about their projects. We love to see that, always do that.
Olive says, theme's just a frame. How about smallish for a theme? Small cars, smaller cars.
Yeah.
Like that little Fiat 850, or like Subaru 360, or like, I don't know, all the Volkswagen kit cars and all
the smallest car
the MGBs and all those kind of things. That might be fun.
What's the small car that you would want, right? Something that grabs your attention. Not just, oh, it's very small. But there are some really, really small ones. But
Dean's making my eyes hurt, but I can read it.
Yeah.
I can know. I can know.
Olive, that's a great theme. I'm all in for it. Is there anybody who's against that or
What's
in
that?
favor of that?
What's
Smallish
cars?
Small cars, minis.
Yeah, smallish cars.
Micro
Which
cars.
to me, yeah, Mexican specs is no no Cadillac hearses. You know, I'll send hearses. Don't they make some little baby hearses? You know what? You know.
Yeah, the smallest hearse, Mexican spec. That's a good see. Smallest hearse, smallest ambulance, smallest van.
How'd Dean do that? He flipped the keyboard over? So he's typing backwards.
Mini Cooper, yeah.
Yeah, those kind of things.
But send us a picture of the best one you can find. Take a little bit of time or something from a movie that you think is so cool.
But I was going to say something, and now I've completely lost my train of thought. Buddy Carafano car is bigger the better. Humvees.
Hippie long asks.
Did they make a Humvee sports car? That's what he'd want.
Did they?
No, I'm just kidding.
That would be neat.
You know, there's another car I used to joke around, and there was a friend of mine. I told him so many times he believed it. You know what a 55 through 7 Thunderbird looks like? The little original 2-seat Thunderbirds. Well, same vintage car was the Checker cabs. I told, well, Checker built a little car. It just looked almost like a 57 Thunderbird, but it was a Checker, you know. And I got him after a while, so he started believing it. But really, they never did that. Can you imagine a little Checker sports car?
Yeah. I like small. It could be the smallest. Be creative. The smallest station wagon. The smallest
Dean says
bus.
he copied Cyrillic. There is no backwards K in Cyrillic. There is no Cyrillic that makes a K go that way. A K in Cyrillic is the same it is in English or Roman letters. Oh, man. Small scale model cars. Ears. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to Mexican Spec about. Go look at Steve Mignante. Is that his name?
Steve Maggs.
Yeah, Steve Maggs. He just did a video about model cars, and it was Johan's ambulance and their hearse, and he did a whole video on it. Mexican Spec, I was thinking about you. I was hoping you'd see that. John Hart, I would want a Jensen Healy. Oh yeah, Jensen Healy. Yeah, we could do all that kind of stuff. I kind of like Olive's idea. We'll do
biggest cars another time.
Yeah, let's do
small is enough theme to occupy an entire 2 hours.
Mexican Spec, he's messing with you. I know he's messing with me.
Yeah, all of his giving for reference. Steve Maggs is making model car videos the last few days. Yeah, Steve Maggs, he must really he was very ill. And now that he's out of the hospital, people think, oh, he's better. He's probably still very ill, being that sick for that long. So he can't get out to the junkyards. So he's doing model cars because he loves cars.
He's looking really good compared to what he was. I mean, he was in trouble.
He's stepping back into things.
And he's slowly getting back into it. Yep. And it's good to see him doing that.
Oh, Mexican Spec says they are old videos that he had posted before. I did not know that. I hoped he was getting better.
That's right. And he reposted them, or they were ones he had archived, and now he's posting them. That's right. But it's the
I'm sorry, I misstated.
The Johan.
I saw it and I made an
still
assumption.
In rehab, is he? Because I have seen him since then. But yeah, he's
not in the kind of rehab where they don't let you out. Physical rehabilitation after a debilitating what did he have? And brain infection.
Yeah.
It takes a very long time. Sometimes years. And you only recover as much as you recover. They cannot guarantee how much that will be.
Oh, Kim, these vids are from when he was recovering. He's much better now.
Oh, that's good. Okay, I see. He's just finally getting them out.
Okay, so smaller cars, and not necessarily any certain smaller cars.
Yeah.
Smaller cars could
surprise us. Make it entertaining.
Could be, yep, encephalitis. That's what he
This is your show. This is your show. It's not just us. We're depending on you. Show us some interesting stuff. Encephalitis, Kevin reminds us. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, it's very dangerous.
Man. Next week's ideas. What are people bringing no-name nationals? What would people like to see at no-name nationals? Oh, I don't know. I thought we were going to do the
We've decided on small.
small cars.
The no-name national stuff we generally leave to John Wilburn
And
on
I would
Friday
say
nights.
small cars are anything that you think is small. And I'll tell you, when I was a kid getting in out of some small cars, they felt I couldn't tell the difference. But now, if I get in a Corvair, I feel like it's a small car. Or if I get in a 62 Buick Special, I feel like it's a small car. But then there's things like that Fiat A50 we showed, and that's quite small. So I don't know. Uh, Man, you're bringing a 68 Pontiac Ventura to No Name Nationals Den of Dreams Garage. Man, that's one of my favorite. Uh, wow. So, yeah. So, we're going to wrap it up?
Well, Hippie Long had asked me about my intake manifold for my Bronco
Oh.
2. And so the Bronco 2 is sort of a really back burner project, and I had some dead time and I worked on it. The intake manifold bolted on good. It looks good, but I don't have any linkage for the throttle or anything set up yet. But yeah, it bolts on and I think it's going to work. Currently, I have been working on the distributor because I'm not going to reuse any of the wiring and computer from the 2.9 engine, and the distributor I find is completely different than anything that came before. It's all computerized, and so I'm going to have to build something custom. And if I'm lucky, and if Amazon didn't lie to me, the parts are sitting out on the front porch, and I'm going to do some videos about how I make that conversion. So that I can run a pretty standard, simplified ignition system on a previously computerized engine. And that will be coming real soon because I really don't know how it will run until I have like Spark. So, and it's moving so slow that like it's very difficult to make like incremental updates. So I'm just kind of recording when stuff happens. But I think what I'm going to do more is do just like a walk around once it's together, because it's the only way I can comprehensively make a video about it. But it is still moving. I was out there working 2 nights in a row on that distributor, and I broke part of it, so I had to replace the whole thing because I destroyed it trying to disassemble it like an idiot. Anyways, it's moving along.
Stray Bullet's here. Man, we're cutting it a little short tonight, Stray Bullet.
Not that short. 2 hours is a long stream.
Yeah, 2 hours, yep.
Yeah,
well,
give
yeah,
us
but
a
it's
break,
just
guys.
he's showing up, and so next week it's smaller cars. You're not working on the Z sled, not Z7 exhaust manifolds. Yeah.
So we were working on that car, and we ordered replacement parts, and they came in damaged. So we had to work on his grandson's car. So we slapped it back together, pulled it out of the garage, and then fixed his grandson's car. And then since we didn't have parts yet, we pulled in my Dart, and I've been tinkering with the Dart. So yeah, sometimes you just have to go with what's there. Parts have not arrived yet. So we don't want to take a car, we don't want to disable a car in the garage that we can't actually work on. So the Z sled is sitting out in the yard, and the Dart is being improved.
Here's
and
what happened with my...
If you didn't see it yet, I just put out on my channel, Kim Fixes Things. I just put out a video on my progress with the Dart, and I will hopefully have it out tomorrow. The ground, it was rainy. The ground should be dry enough for me to pull it out of the garage and up the hill. Hopefully by tomorrow, and then I can go take it for a test drive. Maybe I'll make a video about that as well.
And they're asking about the
Hey, Danny Boyd.
The Triumph.
The Triumph is still sitting in the front yard.
It's sitting in it.
I pressure washed it and painted the frame, and then we started working on his car, and then we did this, and then.
You know how cars are. Mine's taking longer than what we expected.
His daily driver was down, so it took priority, and then we had to get a parts cart. Boy, it snowballs. It snowballs. That's the way
we did not take the head off. Here's what happened. I ordered a head gasket set from Rock Auto. And those bozos folded the thing in half and put it in a small box. Well, you know how good a head gasket is after they fold it in half. So I sent it back to him. He answered a bunch of questions. It's still sitting here. They haven't told me how to send it yet. And they said they'd credit me. And they said they didn't have any more in stock and they'd just send me my money back. Well, then I look, and they do have it in stock, same part number, same everything, but they've almost doubled the price, which kind of pisses me off that they don't just replace it, that they're sending my money back and I can reorder it at almost the double.
At double the price.
You know, baloney. I'm going somewhere else to get it. Those idiots. So anyway, I'm sorry, but that's
and
not.
their new price is the same price. We can just go order it from a brick and mortar store up the street. And they will definitely show us that the box is not bent in half and we don't have to deal with returns and stuff.
Kevin, where is that box? Is it sitting right here?
I don't know.
Okay. Now you got me on the subject. Well,
I like the colorful frame anyways. I'm not a flashy person, but I enjoy painting in bright colors. The bright colors are so that it shows up good on camera. That was what made the choice. Black stuff, rust is like a flat, dull bore. Like you can't even see it. Bright colors jump out. I don't know.
Well, it was sitting right here. Now it's not sitting.
In the middle of the kitchen table. I can't believe someone would move it after it sat there for a week.
It is not there.
Okay, well, both of us cannot walk away from it to find it.
It's just missing. So
it was
anyway,
bent in half in a littler box.
I did a video on it. You can see it. I did a short on it. It came in a box about this big, and I opened the box up, and the head gasket's folded exactly in half and stuffed in this little box. So, who does that?
Luis, it's bright orange.
Well, you know what? Stray Bullet says, Rock Auto sucks, you have to send anything back. Well, the last time they sent me a head gasket that they folded in half, and I'm not kidding, the one for my Valiant, my 6-cylinder Valiant.
The time before, yeah.
They folded it in half. So I complained, and they sent me a new one without any charge. They sent me a new one, wanted me to send the old one back. So I did. Well, this time, the same kind of thing, except now the new one's more money. So they're not sending me a new one. They're sending me my money back, which that kind of pisses me off. You know, you guys ruined this. You know, your stupid employees folded a head gasket in half. Where do they find these people?
Yeah. And now they're going to charge double for the next one because they ruined it. I think it was, who said...
Well, Mexican Spec says, don't be lazy and go get your parts. Well, yeah, I'll tell you where I'm going to get it. I'm getting it from O'Reilly's because O'Reilly has it for about the same price. Danny Boyd.
I'm sorry, guys. This chat's going so fast. I can't keep
up.
It
just...
I'm missing good stuff. I'm sorry I'm missing people's comments.
So fast. Yeah, and Barrows here. Stuck in on my lunch break.
Tell Buff to reuse the D7 6015 head gasket.
Well, that's what Dean was saying before. Just reuse the one that came off. And, you know, I like all these ideas, but I don't want to do this job twice. I'm already
it'd be easier the second time because we already got the studs drilled out.
Already got in it deeper than we wanted to get in it. I was done. I was ready to go drive that car. And Kim decided to pull the exhaust manifold off.
He's mad at me.
Replace the exhaust.
So I broke it.
Replace the exhaust manifold gasket. Well, you know what happened. You know, all the studs broke except 4 of them. So now
we got a 50.
Now it's a bigger job. So yep.
Yeah, and we're not going to try and drill out that many broken studs while it's on the car because it faces down a little bit. Trying to drill up like this at an angle.
So the head's coming off. Get it up on a bench. I've got some reverse drill bits that I showed last week here. Didn't I show those? I did a short or something. So anyway. Yeah,
I feel like this has happened before.
And that's why the Spitfire isn't back in there, because we had a couple of one-day jobs that turned into 1 or 2 week jobs, because that's just how the world is.
So the Spitfire is also... The Spitfire would be a fantastic winter job because there's lots of room around it to work. So if the Spitfire just sort of sits off to the side ready to go till when the winter... I know winter, like we're in the middle of summer, we're talking about winter, but like planning ahead, it's a great winter project because it doesn't take up that much space.
You're the one that wanted in there right away and you got started on it and got really rolling on it. Now you want to make it a wintertime project. I want to roll on it now.
You cannot paint in the winter. That's a problem. So we're getting the painting and the prep out of the way while things are easy to move around. And your car was running at the time. Your car was running at the time. We were doing well. It was
Hippie
like,
Lungs
what do we
is-
do now? Like, we
Hippie
don't have
Lungs.
nothing to do.
Hippie Lungs says, Buff, you're a former A&P. I am not. You should have pulled it and regasketed seals anyway. I'm not an A&P. I was a 7-level jet engine mechanic in the Air Force, and then I'm a design engineer. I built some airplanes from scratch.
Buddy says,
So-
what happens when a head bolt snaps off? Buddy, that's not really a problem with those engines.
I have
They
never
come
seen
out.
that happen.
They're not.
The reason the
they're not
exhaust
problematic.
manifolds break is they're hot as hell and they rust in place.
Yeah, and it's original. That manifold's never been off the car, and so now it'll be serviceable.
See, Dean says we'll lose compression.
We will not lose a significant amount of compression.
I don't know what to do.
Do the math and let us know.
I didn't really want to. I didn't want to go this far, but now we already dove in. I'm there.
There was an exhaust leak. It was making noises. Sorry.
Well, Kev Smith has got to have great HVAC first. No, use water-based paints, and I've used them and I like them.
Can we mill the head for greater compression on that engine, or is that not a thing?
Oh God, is it? How much difference is it going to make in compression?
He says 7.8 instead of 8.4. I can't believe it changes it that much, Dean.
You got me all discouraged. I'm going to drag that Chevy out of the corner and just put it in the car.
Next year, we're going to do that anyways. So whatever, we just need it to run good and reliable for right now. The Chevy 350 is going in there next season. We just want to get it to No Name Nationals. Kim, leave the old cars alone. Let them. Hey, I can't be Kim fixes things if I don't break some things.
Then I can mill the head. Yeah, there we go with more. You know what happens?
Guys,
you know
be
what
nice.
happens?
You're getting me in all kind of trouble
You know
here.
what happens when you take a head to a machine shop here to get the? It's an 8-month wait. So now my daily driver gets pushed outside and the bugs come crawl in. The chickens live in it. Yeah.
Put a Hemi in it. No.
Or mill the
The
gasket.
Hemi's going in my car.
Mexican Spec says the Chevy 350 is going in where? Into the Z
In the
sled.
Ford. In the Ford. That's what he wants to do.
That's what I kind of wanted to do that to begin with. But
That's
that's
a
a
big
big project, so
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that'll
All I
dominate
want
the
to do
whole
is
summer.
drive my car, and now I've got it. We dove in, so now we got to repair it. So, but I agree to fix it. Car with exhaust leak sounds like shit. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it needed fixed.
I was so happy to have the
Replacing
window.
exhaust manifold
have the
gaskets a
window
one-day
working.
job. Quick. We'll have it done in no time. Order a gasket, get it done.
Well, maybe if that steel gasket looks really good, I'll copper coat the shit out of it and put it on there, and then and then we'll.
Now that my Dart is running again, we could get it in there and start tearing it down. We'll see.
I should
where
mill the
we are.
straight six. No, we're not taking this car even if we get.
That's
Oh,
the
then
thing.
it's gonna be.
We don't have a mill.
Might just as well mill it. Okay, then we take it to a place, and they're gonna take months and months and months to do that.
They're not
and
just
while we're
gonna-
waiting, we might just as well put rings in it.
They're
Oh,
not
we might
just-
just as well put bearings on it.
That's how
we
my
might
car-
just as well turn the crank. You know, it's like, oh. No, I'll put the Chevy in it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They won't just mill. It's not like you pull it off and give it to somebody. Say, "Hey, mill this head," and then they hand it back to you milled, and you go home and put it on. Like, it has to be all disassembled and hot tanked, and then they'll mill it. If you've got it that far apart, you got to replace. You got to refinish the valve seats and put new valves in.
They can mill it while you wait. Maybe in Mexico.
Mill it while you wait.
See, it was nice when I had my radiator shop. The first radiator shop I had, there was a machine shop next door. There was a great place, and I could take stuff in there. They'd do it the same day. You know, it's like, but that's the old days. I didn't like that anymore. Go find a machine shop and beg them to do the job. They're not even sure if they have time for you, you know.
It's how working on cars is. That's how it is, guys. That's how it is. But at least we're working. I mean, honestly, if we
It's
didn't
my-
have things to
it's
fix,
become
there'd be
my-
no channel.
It's become my daily pushmobile.
It's all content. It's all content, right? It even drives right now. You could go out right now and drive it, except for the belt that's not put on. Aside from that, you could drive
Oh
it.
yeah, I can drive it, but the water pump doesn't turn because the belt's tied up with zip ties.
We could have it ready to drive
No,
with the leaky exhaust manifold and only 4 studs holding it on
it's 3.
in an hour or 2, and then you could drive it just like it is. So it's not it's not too far apart right now. No, Josh,
it's
you
a
cannot
crime to
mill
put
the
a
head
shim-
yourself using coarse sandpaper. It wouldn't. No, that's not a thing. But no. It's a 6-cylinder. It's like this long. You'd be. By the time you were done, it would be shaped like this. It would never. No. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. You need to go to a machine shop to do those and those operations, and they don't do it anymore. They work on aluminum heads. You give them a big, heavy cast iron head like that, they're gonna hate you. They don't want to do it.
Isn't that a beautiful thing? Small block Chevy and a Cougar.
He wants to do it again. That's his whole plan. I didn't know that was his whole plan.
See
but
that?
From the start, that's
See
his
that?
plan.
That's a small block Chevy
He is going to recreate this car.
in a Ford product.
That's what he wants. But first, we're going to take the 6 cylinders to the No Name Nationals. Next year, he's going to build this car. I'm going to build a new garage so we can both have our car in the garage at the same time. And then I'm going to put a V8 in my car. And then we're going to race him.
What's SMH? SMH.
Shut my hole.
What? So anyway, that was a fast car.
You know, we were done 21 minutes ago.
I know, but I stayed on here.
Blabbling on. Don't use the router. That would have worked, John. That would have worked if I was a little more patient and I had some kind of machining cooling. I could make that work, but I wouldn't do it on his cylinder head. That intake manifold is probably worth big money today, says Danny Boyd. What do
They
you
are.
think?
I got that thing. I didn't pay a lot for that manifold.
Oh, shaking my head. SMH.
Oh.
That makes sense. Yeah, thanks, makes sense.
Shaking me head. So, yeah, that thing.
Hippie Long says he's not holding his breath.
But I
Are
bought.
you saying we won't do it?
I bought those carburetors new, so
Don't-
that was expensive at the time.
Don't challenge me.
And
I
then,
will do it.
and then right behind those carburetors, you can't see it. There was a brand new. Everything on that engine was new. There was a new Mallory Unilite distributor. I'd spent a lot of money on that engine, and it was fast. All right. Velocity stacks, you could make a souffle and. Well, you know what? That was a cool car when I was like, I had that when I was like 23 years old or 24 years old, something like that. Where's that picture of me? I think I had a picture. There I am. I'm the guy on the right, if you can believe that. And the other guy's a guy I haven't seen
Well,
in years.
you look like you were 50 when you were 23. You've always looked old. What happened?
So anyway, that was a fun car. I don't know if I'd do it again. It's a thought.
Yeah, no. He's got the engine. The engine's on the stand in the garage. Plus, I want to get the damn engine off the stand. If we have to put it in a Ford just to get it out of there, I'm game. Let's do it.
Mexican Spec says almost the same mustache. You know what the deal is on that mustache? I not only had a radiator shot, but I was also in the Air Force, and we were limited. The mustache had to go no further than the edges of your mouth. So that's why that mustache is like that. Because military required it, or just shave it off, which I did that a few times too.
Bruce wants to know how you got the oil pan to clear the steering linkage on
Oh,
the curve.
okay. That is actually a pretty good question. The original Chevy 2s, the Novas, which were called Chevy 2s from 62 to 64, the small blocks in them had a sump in the front. So you get the the oil pan, and you get the pickup for an early Chevy too. Bolts on there, puts the sump up front, works perfectly. So that's a good question. The only problem I had with that car, with the Chevy and the Ford, was the steering linkage. What side's the oil filter's on the driver's side? So the cotter pin on the steering linkage would come by and touch the oil filter, and it would slowly unscrew it. That's not good. So I put an adapter on there so I could run an oil cooler, and I ran the oil filter in a remote location. So that took care of that problem. That was the worst thing on that whole thing. And the headers, I had a friend of mine make the headers. See, Seafoam Green fan blade. Yeah, you remember those old, for those of you around 50 years ago, remember those old fiberglass fans? They were light, they worked, they pulled air through there. And that was a cross-flow radiator that I designed and built, so it was in there. Buff didn't need a fake idea when he was young. And John Hart, see you later. You're taking off. Okay, John. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know what I was going to say. It's dumb stuff.
I don't know. We're making fun of old pictures of you.
I know. That picture was from... I was probably 24 in that picture. So, yeah. That was some years ago.
Anyone who's here who has like a YouTube Premium subscription, so you'd never get advertisements, I want to award you 3 points for being here and supporting the stream with your view, and by supporting us through that means. We appreciate it. It does it like it's free. We can talk to you for free because YouTube does that with advertising. So thank you.
That guy that's standing there, his name is Paul. He was a guy that used to hang around at the shop sometimes, and he had a Ford van back when everybody had vans, and he had a what was that? It was a little red sports car, British sports car. Man, what was that thing called? I can't remember what it was called. I think that picture was in 1978 or 79. I think it was 79.
Kevin Smith, I gave up on my Studebaker. No, Kevin, don't give up.
There's another place we could put that Chevy's in the Studebaker, which is why I bought it.
That was the original plan, but we could put the Ford engine in the Studebaker too.
Put the Ford 6 in the Studebaker, put the Chevy V8 in the... And just change all our engines around.
Swap all the engines.
She wanted me to put one of her 360 Chryslers in my Ford. I don't know.
That's not a participation award. I give points for...
Everybody's telling me how many people reused head gaskets. Okay, I'll pull it off. I'll look at it. If it's clean, I'll spray it with copper coat. I'll put it on there just to make everybody happy.
Just to make everybody happy.
And Dean, how thick is the copper coat? And how much is that going to lower my compression? Jeez. And then if I got to take it back out and do it again, I'm going to give Dean a bunch of shit.
That's right. We'll bill you. We'll refund ourselves in points.
You know, that car I'm talking about, this guy had a British sports car. It's the one that has a real flat hood, and then it has two headlights that kind of go up like they kind of protrude up a little bit. But it's a real flat hood. And he had a piece of polished stainless on the inside of that. So when you open it up, you could see the engine and everything. Oh, it was a beautiful car. You could see the engine and everything in the underside of the hood. It looked like a mirror. Yeah, that's the Felpros, Dan, that's what, no, not a bug-eyed Sprite. No, this is a really big flat, much newer, like 10 years newer than that. Like a G, what the heck was that car? Some kind of British 6-cylinder sports car. Oh.
Lester LeSabre says we can play musical engine like Dan from DD Speed Shop. I have been watching him work on that Monte Carlo. Pulling in engine, putting another in. He loves moving engines around.
Yeah, everybody's gonna guess and guess and guess and guess.
Guess and guess and guess.
Now I gotta look it up because I can't figure it out.
Hippie Long, it's not a participation award. They pay to watch. Pay. They pay money. You guys just have to watch commercials, but they pay. It's like buying cable. Luis is going to go and watch The Jungle Book on VHS from 1997. The Jungle Book. I don't remember. Oh, The Jungle Book. Oh, that's a cartoon. Enjoy your movie. Stray Bullet guesses a TR6. No, but that's a cool little car.
I'm thinking he's right.
Oh, really? Dean says you need to embrace your inner Ferrari. Kevin, yeah. Elevate and ice your foot. Don't ice it too long, but yeah. Put it up in the air and take a load off, Kevin. Thank you for being here. Should already have it up in the air.
I'm seeing like every British car. It's a TR6. That's exactly what it was. It was a TR6. This guy had a TR6.
Everyone that says TR6 gets a point.
It was one of the nicest looking TR6s I've ever seen. And this guy, he was in a. He had a kid. He was married and had a kid, but his kid was little boy. That was just a couple of years old and hung around with him everywhere he went. It seems like he had this kid with him, and he had a business where he did sandblasting and glass beating, and that's all he did. He had a big glass beating and sandblasting cabinet, and he delivered his stuff and went pick stuff up, and always had his kid with him. It's pretty cool. I'd like to find him. I've been trying to find him. He's probably 19 in that picture, so he's probably 5 or 6 years younger than me. I have tried to find him, and with no luck. Kevin Smith, broken back, broken foot, call a ambulance.
Oh, man.
Oh, call Mexican Spec. He's got ambulances. Buy an ambulance.
Kevin, be careful. Quit hurting yourselves.
Okay.
TR6s look like bulked out little puppies. Yeah, send us a picture of one for next week. We'll talk about them.
I want to be done.
I think we should be. Thanks,
It's
everybody.
2.5 hours.
For keeping the chat and comments going. We had a good time. It was a good topic. Next week is small cars. We should make a community post to remind people what each coming week is. So we'll try and remember to do that. Yeah.
And I want to remind everybody.
What's that?
Don't fold your head gaskets in half.
Don't fold your head gasket, because they could be reusable. And we will be in the shop sometime this week. Yep. 1 or 2 streams later this week, but we'll be back next Tuesday. We'd love to see you. Hope you can make it. And that's it.
Good night. Take care, everybody.